Welcome back to Only Talk Sports, and tonight we've got Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets, they already lead 1-0 over the Miami Heat because Miami lost Game 1 at Denver, and it's at Denver yet again for Game 2. Should be a fantastic game. Hopefully it's a really competitive game, but we got to make the most of it because the finals, this is all we got left in the NBA. It's almost over, but regardless, history's going to be made, whether it's going to be Denver winning their first title or Miami being the first 8 seed to win an NBA title in history. That would be crazy, but Miami, they get the ball first on their quest to try to win this game. You've got Jimmy Butler getting it down low to Bam Adebayo, who had a fantastic Game 1 against Nikola Jokic. He was great, but he misses his first shot right there. Now you've got Jokic going down the lane, and he misses a layup that he's going to want back. That was a great look. And then on the other end, Strus loses the ball out of bounds, but they're going to say it is off of the Denver Nuggets. So both teams, they missed their first shots of the game, but you can tell that the pace is already fast and furious, and we'll have to see how the pace keeps up as we continue. You got Max Strus inbounding the ball to Bam Adebayo, back to Strus, and that is a big sign for the Miami Heat because of the fact you've got Max Strus knocking down that three right there. He was cold as ice in Game 1, could not make shots, but that is a big three made right there by Max Strus. Great awareness by Bam to kick it out to him for that open three. Interesting thing for the Heat, Kevin Love has been inserted into the starting lineup again. That is really interesting right there. Can Denver respond the other end? Porter Jr. out to Jokic for three, and he cannot respond with a three of his own. Miami with a 3-0 lead on the road in Mile High Arena. 10:50 to go in the first quarter. Heat dribbling at the top of the key. Butler to Gabe Vincent in the mid-range, and Gabe Vincent knocks down the jumper. 5-0 Miami. Textbook great start for the Heat. Exactly what Heat fans were looking for. Their team starting out fairly well on the road with a 5-0 lead. Now you've got Aaron Gordon at the top of the key with the ball. Kicks to Jamal Murray. In the lane, Murray with a step back two around the free throw line. He can't make the shot. Now you've got the Miami Heat going back the other way. Bam Adebayo, he's got the ball over to Jimmy Buckets. Butler's had some fantastic games in these playoffs. We'll have to see if he can have a big game tonight. Butler in the lane, trying to go up strong. He does, misses the shot, but Bam taps it back out. But unfortunately for the Heat, it goes to Denver. Jamal Murray over to Porter Jr. in the mid-range, and he can't make that shot. So now you've got the Miami Heat with another rebound. The Nuggets are really cold to start this game, but still a long way to go. We still got 9:50 to go in the first quarter. No worries yet for Denver, but they need to get on the board. But the Heat, they extend their lead even further, 7-0 after Gabe Vincent scores again in the mid-range. That is a big shot for Gabe Vincent. Back-to-back buckets for him, and the Heat lead by 7 points. Jokic, he's trying to drive in on Bam, going up strong, and Jokic all the way to the rim, and he lays it in. That's a big shot by Nikola Jokic to finally get the Nuggets on the board, 7-2. Miami's doing a fantastic job on the road. We'll have to see if they can keep it up, or will finally the home crowd in Denver settle in. But Max Strus determined to not let that happen. He scores a three in the corner, and we've got a 10-2 Miami Heat lead. A fantastic start for the Heat. And the fact that it's only two players that have scored so far, two mid-range jumpers by Gabe Vincent and two triples by Max Strus. Those are great looks for the Heat. And the fact Jimmy Butler's not having to really do that much so far. Bam Adebayo, and they've got a 10-2 lead. Once they start kicking into high gear, then you would think potentially that the Miami Heat would be able to maybe build on this lead. This is huge. I think that the Miami Heat need to get a lead like they have. Try to maintain it, maybe extend it if they do want to win this game, because it is tough to win at Mile High Arena. The altitude, the Nuggets, they are tough to beat at home. They were great all regular season home. They've been fantastic in the NBA playoffs so far at home. I don't even think they've lost a home game so far in the NBA playoffs. So they've been elite at home. And if the Miami Heat do want to win this series, they're going to have to find a way to win a game at Denver, or they will not win this series, because Denver does have 4 home games because they're the higher seed. Miami has 3. So whatever the Miami Heat, try to figure out in this series whatever they want to do to be able to win. They're going to have to win a game at Denver regardless. And I think that this start here potentially could propel them to a victory if they can keep it up for another 45 minutes. We'll have to see. But the Miami Heat probably don't want to go down 0-2. It doesn't mean the series is over if Miami does not win this game, because obviously they can win both of their home games, tie the series back up. But still, you don't want to go down 0-2. It's not a good look. It's just bad momentum, bad vibes all around. Tough to turn it around. We saw Boston turn around a 3-0 deficit against the Heat. But still, they won 3 games, but they couldn't win game 7, and that's why the Miami Heat are here. So definitely, Miami probably needs to do everything in their power to possibly win this game, because that would definitely increase their chances of being able to win this series. But Denver, they are a deep team. And Miami, they've got sneaky depth. People have talked about the undrafted 4, endlessly because of how great they have been playing. Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, Caleb Martin. Those guys have been fantastic, assisting Jimmy Butler. And Bam Adebayo's had his moments. He definitely played good in game 1, even though it wasn't enough for the Heat. But Miami's done a good job, with the players that they have on the floor with having success, because they could have really struggled as a team based on the fact that they do have Tyler Hero out the entire NBA playoffs so far. Victor Oladipo is out for the season as well. He got injured. Tyler Hero could be back. We'll have to see whenever he does return, possibly in this series. But you never know if that could hurt the roster continuity or anything like that, because somebody's going to not be getting as many minutes with Tyler Hero back. But Miami, they've been doing a good job of finding a way to withstand the injuries and play at a high level. But Denver, they've got the deepest team that they've potentially ever had in their whole franchise history, because you've got 2 bona fide stars in Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Now that he's back off of his injury and he's playing like he was in the 2020 bubble, he's doing a great job. And then you look at the rest of the team. KCP, Caldwell Pope's done a fantastic job making shots, potentially becoming that third guy at times with how well that he has been playing. And then you look at Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, 2 guys that have dramatically improved the 3-point shooting percentage. Great defender, especially Aaron Gordon. He can pulverize the rim as well down low. And then you've got Bruce Brown, who they say is their 6th starter. Michael Malone definitely gives Bruce Brown the credit that he deserves. And then they've got veteran Jeff Green and then Christian Braun. So it's a very deep team, a much deeper team on paper than the Miami Heat, but we'll have to see which team's depth performs better in each game, because really that's what's going to come down to who wins this series, is how many players play well for either team. I think Denver has more players that could play well, but Miami, they are a team that is not to be overlooked, because they did beat the Boston Celtics, who had much more depth than they did, but the Celtics were inconsistent. Denver has not been so far in these playoffs, but we'll have to see if that can continue, or will they finally start to struggle. Max Strus misses a 3. He had a little hot streak going, decided to heat check, and he was not able to hit that 3. Denver on the other end, and Jamal Murray misses a mid-range jumper, a shot that he normally makes. That's his money shot, just could not get it to fall. Bam Adebayo backing down on Jamal Murray. That's a mismatch down low, and he misses the bank shot. Now you've got Michael Porter Jr. with a rebound. That's another thing Denver does really well. They're a great rebounding team because they have good size. On the offensive glass and the defensive glass, they rebound very well. Aaron Gordon down low. He loses the basketball out of bounds, but they're going to say it is off of the Miami Heat, so it will remain Denver Nuggets basketball. But so far, Denver just looks a little bit slow on the offensive end. They've had a couple of good looks, and Miami's doing a fairly good job on the defensive end. But you can tell that the Denver Nuggets just kind of seem to be in a bit of a fog to start this game. We'll have to see if they can find a way to wake up. Porter Jr. down low. He gets the shot to fall, but it's not going to count. They're going to call an offensive foul on Michael Porter Jr. Max Strus took the charge. That is Kevin Love, per se. Max Strus was behind the play. Looked like maybe it was him, but it is Kevin Love taking the charge down low, 2 feet out of the paint. That is a good play by the veteran. That is why Kevin Love is into the game. That's why the Miami Heat signed Kevin Love, because he can make really good plays like that. He can step up when you need him to. Denver with the ball. Now you've got it over to Miami. Jimmy Butler to Kevin Love in the corner after Denver with that mistake on the last play. They had the ball and they had a charge, and now you've got Miami with it. But good defense by Denver. Miami chunks up a shot, couldn't get it to fall. Gabe Vincent with that Hail Mary attempt, couldn't get it to go. But then you've got Denver in the corner. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope drains a three in the right corner. 10-5. That was a fantastic shot by KCP. Then you've got Bam Adebayo on the other end. He responds. So Miami doing a really good job taking blow for blow every time Denver makes a shot. Miami is responding so far. Still a long way to go in this game. Does not mean any indication that Denver is in any trouble, but Miami's doing a good job so far. Jokic down low for two, looked like he was going to shoot it, but instead it was an alley-oop to Aaron Gordon, one of the best dunkers in the NBA, and he dunks it home. 12-7, 5-point game. 7:06 to go in the first quarter, and there is a foul on Denver. So that was a fantastic play by Jokic. That's what he's going to have to do. Jokic is always elite at passing the ball to his teammates, getting them comfortable in a game. And once they start to settle down, that's when Jokic can start to take over because his teammates are rolling and everybody's playing really well. That's what Jokic does best, is getting his teammates to play at such a high level. Bam, down low to Jimmy Butler, who has not scored yet for the Miami Heat. Down low, his shot's off the mark, but they're going to call a foul on the Denver Nuggets. That's a bailout play right there, a bailout foul. Definitely the Nuggets did not need to foul because Jimmy Butler in the mid-range, that's a tough shot. It looked like potentially Murray just got him a little bit too much with the body. Doesn't look like Murray agrees with the foul. It wasn't too bad of a foul, to be honest. I think that you could have said that he was straight up, but I did think that he kind of went into him in the chest. That's why they called that foul on him, because he didn't give him enough space to cleanly get that shot off. So Jimmy Butler will have 2 free throws. 0 free throw attempts for the second time this season for Jimmy Butler in game 1. So that is a big problem for the Miami Heat. They only shot 2 free throws against the Denver Nuggets in game 1. That is not sustainable. They're going to have to get to the line more if they want to win this game, because of the fact that the free throw line is always a big key when you're on the road, when you're the road team with a hostile environment. Get to the line, settle it down, and sometimes just making free throws can start to get you warmed up to be able to hit threes and long too. So I think that getting the line will be huge for the Miami Heat in this game. Definitely need to go to the line more than they did in game 1. We'll have to see if they can continue to do that. On the other end, a turnover. Great defense by the Miami Heat down low. They stole the ball from Denver trying to get in the corner. Too much passing for the Nuggets right there. Bam in the mid-range, and his shot rolls in. 16-7. The Miami Heat have a 9-point lead. The Nuggets are still struggling. They've only got 7 points in the first 6 minutes of this ball game. They're going to have to do much better than that if they want to win. Caldwell-Pope in the mid-range. His shot is off the mark. Bam has the board. Nobody down low to box out for the Nuggets. Right to Bam for that rebound. Kevin Love at the top of the key to Bam. Over to Jimmy Butler, who just had 2 big free throws a couple possessions ago. He cannot hit another shot. He misses right there. KCP with the rebound. Denver going down the floor. 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Gordon to Jokic, top of the key. He's left all alone, and Jokic makes Miami pay. You got to guard the big fella. He can knock down the 3. 16-10, big shot by Nikola Jokic. And that's what makes him a true complete offensive threat. He can shoot threes. He can get to the rim. He's a great passer. He can do it all. One of the best all-around players in NBA history on the offensive end. Jimmy Butler over in the corner to Max Strus, and Max Strus continues to stay hot. Good recognition by Jimmy Butler, feeding the hot hand right there. Max Strus paying it off. 9 points for him. He's 3 of 4 from 3. Jokic down low. He can't respond, but I think that they are going to actually call an offensive foul on Jokic. Looked like maybe there was a foul on Bam, but I think they're going to get Jokic right there for an offensive foul, maybe with a potential push-off. The Nuggets just are a little foggy to start. 5:16 to go in the first quarter, and they've only got 10 points. But Max Strus having 9 points and 3 of 4 from 3 to start when he had 0 points and he could not make a 3, could not make anything in game 1 for Miami. That's why the Heat are winning right now. They need more of the role players to start playing better in this game, and Max Strus is one key example of that to start this game. Butler down low. Well, maybe he traveled, but they don't call it. The fans are wanting it, but they did not call it. Down low. Jimmy Butler for 2. does not care that the crowd is upset, does not care that he had a potential travel. Jimmy Butler scores the ball anyway, 21-10. Jokic down low. That's a lot of contact, but they do not call a foul. Now you've got Aaron Gordon getting the offensive rebound somehow, and he falls to the deck, and I think they are going to call a foul on the Miami Heat. Jokic is upset. Michael Malone is upset. Denver is really frustrated starting this game, but one thing you can't do, even if you're right, you can't complain too much. You just got to go out there and play as hard as you can, because sometimes complaining about it can make you play worse. I do understand Denver's frustration. They're starting this game relatively poorly compared to the way they usually do, but there's still a long way to go. 4:42 to go in the first quarter. We've got over 40 minutes of NBA action still to go, and the Nuggets will have plenty of time to come back in this game. Jokic at the top of the key, trying to drive in the lane all the way to the rim over Kevin Love, and that is an elite play by Jokic. Taking the ball from the three-point line, dribbling in the lane, and laying it in. That's a great shot. He's got 7 points. He's being much more aggressive than he was in Game 1. When he started the game with only a couple of shots at like the second quarter. He only had 2 shots taken already in the second quarter, but he's already got 6 shots taken in this game. He's hit 3 of them. He's got 7 points. So he's being very aggressive, looking for his shot while his teammates are kind of struggling to start the game. But he is going to need some help because Denver's still down 21-12, and they're going to need some more offensive action by some of his teammates, especially like a Jamal Murray. He has not really gotten going either. Denver definitely needs more production if they're going to win this game, because Miami looking fairly good to start. Jeff says, hey, Jeffrey, I'm here and ready to go. Really appreciate that, Jeff. I'm definitely ready to go as well. Should be a great game. Miami looking like they could potentially make this a game because they're up 9 on the road to start. They're doing a much better job against Denver to start this game than they did in Game 1. And how you start a game is not as important as how you finish a game, but it's still very important, because if you fall behind early by a substantial amount, then the rest of the game you're playing catch up the entire time. You're trying to get back into the game, which is very hard to do because you're already down. So I think that Miami being ahead already in this game gives them the confidence. The crowd's not completely engaged, and that they can, kind of just play their game, play their style. And if they can continue to do that for longer in this game, then they could potentially steal one at the Denver Nuggets. But again, it's not how you start a game, it's how you finish. I completely agree. That's definitely the more important thing. But sometimes how you start a game can help you finish the game in the desired way. Because if you do start the game too poorly, like we've seen several times in these NBA playoffs this year, where teams just start out way too poorly to start a game, and then they were just way too far behind, could not get back in the game, and they did not have a shot to come back at all. Despite playing much better later on in the game, it was just too little too late. So Miami is giving themselves a chance to win, but Denver is not really helping themselves either due to the start that they're having. They just look a little sluggish to start. I mean, it's not the unlikeliest thing in the world. You won Game 1. Maybe you're feeling like potentially you can maybe cruise through the Miami. I don't think that's Denver Nuggets mentality. You can't imagine that they're thinking that they can cruise through the Miami Heat, despite the fact they're an 8 seed, and a lot of people thought it'd be Boston. Miami's still a really formidable team, so Denver cannot overlook Miami. I don't think that they are, but for what Denver is just not coming out with the same intensity that they were in Game 1. And even then, if you look at the fourth quarter of Game 1, Denver kind of struggled in the fourth quarter of that game. They were not playing at an extremely high level. So maybe it's a little bit of a carry over from that game. You kind of could tell that Jokic got Denver over the top, because Miami cut it to like 5 or 6 a couple of times in that fourth quarter. Looked like maybe there was going to be a chance for the Miami Heat to come back in Game 1 and complete the comeback of all comebacks, but then Nikola Jokic scored a few buckets. Denver survived, but it's kind of carrying over. Denver looks a little sluggish to start this game. Jokic has 7 of the 12 points, so we'll have to see in the next 4 minutes of this first quarter if Denver can finally find some offensive flow and get back in this game, maybe take a lead on the Miami Heat. But I really do appreciate you for stopping by, Jeff. Definitely means a lot. Nana says, I am here also looking forward to the game. I am as well, Nana. Really appreciate you for stopping by. Means so much, and it should be a great game. We're running out of NBA playoff games. Still got a few games to go, but they've been a lot of fun this year, and definitely whoever wins in this 2023 NBA Finals, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really interesting to see for sure, but really appreciate you for stopping by, Nana. It's always so much fun having you watch for sure. Really appreciate it. Game starting back up. You've got Miami in the mid-range, and there is a missed shot, but somehow Miami gets the ball back. An offensive rebound is huge, and then you've got another miss by the Heat, but Miami gets another offensive rebound. Caleb Martin, who was potentially going to be out with an illness, but he is back. That's big for the Heat that he did not miss this game. Cody Zeller is also into the game for the Heat off the bench, but 3 chances for Miami, no points. And then on the other end, Michael Porter Jr., he knocks down the 3. 21-15, 6-point game. Denver getting back in this game bit by bit. Now Caleb Martin on the other end kicks it outside to Max Strus, who's been hot to start, and he misses, cannot continue his hot streak from the outside. Now you've got Aaron Gordon going down the floor. 3:20 to go in the first quarter. To Porter Jr., he misses the 3. Caleb Martin, he has the rebound right there. Definitely, again, Miami Heat fans glad that he is out there. Lowry over to Jimmy Butler. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Butler's backing down on Gordon. He kicks it outside to Caleb Martin. Back to Jimmy Butler. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Butler over to Max Strus again, and Max Strus cans another 3. 24-15. Max Strus is not afraid to shoot the basketball, and he is making the Denver Nuggets pay. He's already got 4 threes. He shot 7 threes in this first quarter. That is insane. That's a lot of three-point attempts, but he's being fairly efficient, shooting 57% from 3 to start this game. Jokic down low, and I think they're going to get a foul on the Heat, maybe on Cody Zeller on that Jokic drive. Not 100% sure, but I do think that's what the call is. But it's 24-15 Miami. They're doing a good job in this game, particularly Max Strus, because he's got 12 points. He's going to the bench right now to get a breather. With 4 big threes, that's why Miami's in front, doing a great job from the outside. Porter Jr. in the mid-range, and they're going to get a foul on Duncan Robinson, who's now off the bench for the Heat. Duncan Robinson has really struggled with fouls in these playoffs. He's been fouling a lot. He's definitely not the greatest defender in the world. He's in to shoot, but still, you can't get a quick foul only being in the game for like 5 seconds and you already got a foul, and you got to do a little bit better job than that on the defensive end if you can. Jokic with the ball to Jamal Murray. Thought about the 3, thought better of it. Get to the Jokic, back to Murray, to Jokic, the 2-man game, and Jokic over Cody Zeller. That's a fantastic shot around the free throw line, knocking it down. 24-17. Jokic with 9 points. He's looking really good to start this game. Jimmy Butler, top of the key. 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Down low to Cody Zeller, taking contact, and Cody Zeller scores over Nikola Jokic. That's a fantastic job by Zeller, showing why he's still in the NBA, still a really solid player. Then on the other end, Bruce Brown, what a play by him, getting all the way to the rim, laying it in. We're seeing some great athleticism between these two teams. Shooting is key in the NBA today. All these teams shoot a lot of threes, but sometimes the plays to get to the rim are great to watch as well. And then on the other end, Caleb Martin, he scored. I think they're going to get an offensive foul on him. It's either on him or maybe it was on an illegal screen. So tough break for the Heat, who were definitely trying to extend their lead but can't right there. So you're going to have the Nuggets getting the ball back, which I think is big for them. They need to try to find a way to cut down the Heat lead. They're only down by 7, so they're not in any danger zone right now. But if Denver can get the lead back on Miami after the Heat started the game so well, I think that would definitely go a long way in helping their chances. But then somehow Nikola Jokic took the ball from coast to coast, and he laid it and got a friendly bounce to boot. That's a fantastic shot. 21-26. Nuggets have cut it to 5. Jokic has over half of Denver's points. He's got 11. Caleb Martin at the top of the key, being guarded by Murray. He pulls from 3. He can't make the shot. Jokic rebounds over Cody Zeller. Denver going down the floor, chipping away at the Heat lead. Crowd starting to get re-engaged. Murray, top of the key. Murray definitely needs to get going. He has not really been making a lot of shots so far. Murray over to Jokic, down the lane. Jokic to Bruce Brown, back to Jokic with Cody Zeller on him. Jokic goes up strong over Zeller, misses the shot. Had a great look, looked like it was going in, but it did not. Jeff Green, though, saves it to Christian Braun in the lane, and somehow Christian Braun scored over Cody Zeller and the like. There was a couple of guys on him, and somehow he scored. The rookie out of Kansas. That's a fantastic play, showing why he gets minutes in these playoff games. Big shot by him. 26-23, and just like that, it's a 3-point game. Heat almost had an over and back, but it was tapped off of the Nuggets, so Miami still with the ball. Lowry in the mid-range, his shot is no good. Bruce Brown with the board, and we've got one more potentially shot in this first quarter. One more possession by the Denver Nuggets, unless there is a foul or a shot taken quicker, then the Heat will have a shot. We'll have to see. Murray with the ball, driving into the lane, 6.5 seconds left, and I think that they call a foul on Kyle Lowry. Maybe Kyle Lowry bodied up too much on Jamal Murray. I think that's what they're going to get. Or he kind of ran into Jokic, and they're saying Jokic did not have an illegal screen, so they're going to call that on Kyle Lowry. He gets a lot of those, trying to stick with his defender, because Lowry is the shorter guy, so he has to do everything he possibly can to guard. Hayden Highsmith is coming into the game for the Heat. He had a really solid game one. We'll have to see if that can carry over into game two, but he was actually really solid. He had double-digit points, and he was one of the only players that did not give up when Miami had fallen behind. Murray shoots a three to potentially tie the game, and he can't make the shot, and that will be the end of the first quarter. Really solid first quarter by both teams. Miami definitely played better at the beginning of the first quarter. Max Strus was on fire, but Denver had a little flurry late in the first quarter, mainly due to Nikola Jokic's high level of play and aggressiveness to start this game. Him going out there and taking shot after shot, and he's doing a great job on whoever's guarding him, whether it's Bam or Cody Zeller. Both players are trying, but Jokic, he could score at will. Sometimes I feel like Jokic, as great of a passer as he is, needs to score more because he is that good at scoring the basketball. He definitely does need to pass because when he sets up his teammates, it makes the rest of his team so much better because you can get players like Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon making shots off those passes, and then they're on a roll. That makes Denver so much more dangerous. But Jokic alone can score the ball at such a high level that when he's feeling it, he needs to just make shots. He needs to take shots. He is a great player doing a fantastic job to start this game. And Denver only down by 3, which it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse for sure. They were a team that was struggling to start this game, looked very sluggish, like they just were not ready for this game potentially, but they've started to settle it down a little bit. Miami went a bit cold late in that first quarter, and their lead is kind of evaporated. We'll have to see which team starts out stronger in the second quarter. Jeff says Miami is ready to go. For sure. When this game tipped off, you could tell that they were engaged. You could tell Eric Spoelstra had them ready to play and that they were they were the team wanting to take the first punch. It might be a cliche, but sometimes the team that takes the first punch is because of the fact of the determination of that team. And they were a determined basketball team. When they started this game, they were going out there making shots, particularly Max Strus. But sometimes that can be infectious. Sometimes that can spread to the rest of your team, and other guys can start making shots as well. Hopefully for the Miami Heat, they can get some production out of Caleb Martin because you could tell he was kind of struggling to start this game. Don't know if the illness is kind of carrying over. He definitely is been huge. He's been a great player all playoff long for Miami, but he just looks a little slow to start for Miami. Kind of looks like he's trying to find a way to, get his shot to fall, when sometimes what's better to do is to get in the lane, try to get to the line, get to the free throw line, and make some free throws. But instead, Caleb Martin pulled a couple times from the outside, did not work. We'll have to see if he can get into a flow. But still, Max Strus was huge. Maybe that can get other guys going. Duncan Robinson, if he can try to stay out of foul trouble, I think he could possibly start making some shots. Miami has guys that can score. But for the Denver Nuggets, they had you could say a relatively inefficient first quarter, but they're only down by 3, which is not a great sign for the Miami Heat because of the fact it wasn't for Strus. And if it wasn't for Denver kind of struggling in that first quarter, they could be down. They definitely could be down by a decent amount. So Denver only being down by 3, not too bad for them despite their struggles in the first quarter. Jeff said Miami wants it for sure. 100%, you got to want it. This is the NBA Finals. I mean, you should want it whenever you're in the playoffs. So even if you're in the play-in game, you should definitely want it because if you win the play-in game, you're giving yourself a chance to make it to the finals and win a ring. That's huge. But Now we're in the finals. So both teams, for sure, you got to want it. You can't just lay down and let the other team that's already ahead of you easily win. So even if Miami loses, you got to go down swinging. You got to give it everything that you've got. So I feel like the Miami Heat definitely, that was their message in this game. We got to come out with intensity and play at a high level, and they did a good job of that. But Denver starting to turn around. They get the ball first to start the second quarter with a 3-point deficit. You've got Christian Braun over to Bruce Brown, the sixth man, the sixth starter for the Denver Nuggets. Over to Jamal Murray. He tries to swing it inside. I don't know what he was looking at. Aaron Gordon, yeah, he was down low, but there was a Miami Heat guy right in front of him. But Jamal Murray has a lot of confidence in his pass. He was trying to whip that ball in there, but thankfully for him, it goes out of bounds off of the Miami Heat, so it will remain Denver Nuggets basketball. No turnover right there. Jeff Green to Jamal Murray, who almost had that turnover. He gets it down low again. Somehow Christian Braun ends up with it, and somehow Christian Braun scores. That was a terrible pass by Jamal Murray, but Christian Braun ended up with it, had the wherewithal to go up with it and score there. That was a fantastic shot, and Denver has it to a 1-point game. And Christian Braun, 2 minutes is 4 points, and he almost turns Miami over. Christian Braun almost saves it, so he is going out there and playing with great intensity right now. The rookie from out of Kansas looking like he's a veteran. That's a fantastic shot, and then a great defensive effort on the other end. Definitely Michael Malone needs to consider keeping him into the game. 26-25. 1-point lead for Miami. Can the Heat find a way to regain some momentum in this game? Their offense has kind of crawled to a halt. Caleb Martin to Bam Adebayo, who's back into the game for the Heat. Cody Zeller back on the bench. Duncan Robinson with the ball, tries to swing it down low, and Denver almost had a turnover. There was two guys there, but Christian Braun, Jamal Murray, neither player could end up with it, and the ball rolled out of bounds. So that is a lucky break for Duncan Robinson and the Heat. That could have easily been a turnover, but Denver let the ball roll out of bounds. Then you do have a turnover. Christian Braun with the steal to Murray to Jeff Green, and Jeff Green tried to go with an acrobatic slam, and he's fouled from behind. But again, the wherewithal of Christian Braun to pass that ball up the floor off the break, that is huge. He didn't just sit there. He passed it to Murray. Then Murray swings it up the floor to Jeff Green. Then Hayden Hossman with the clear foul. Not even close to being able to scout us out. And then Hayden Hossman goes up straight like he didn't foul. But he definitely fouled on that play. The veteran Jeff Green is at the free throw line with a chance to put Denver in front. And his first free throw is nothing but nylon. We've got a tie game. And it looks like Miami never led at all with the way that Denver's come roaring back in this game. With another free throw, they could have the lead. Miami's going to have to find a way to get their offense back rolling. Probably need to get Max Strus back into the game if they can. Jeff Green, his second free throw is good, and Denver's in front. 27-26. The home team definitely excited about that. Caleb Martin with the basketball. First lead of the game for the Nuggets. They were down by 11 at one point. Miami, though, trying to respond. We'll have to see if they can. Kyle Lowry swings it over to Caleb Martin. Top of the key. Martin driving into the lane. Kicks out to Lowry for three. And Kyle Lowry knocks down the shot. Big shot for the Heat. And that puts them back in front. 29-27 while Jimmy Butler's still getting a rest. Kyle Lowry with the big shot from off the bench. That is huge. Bruce Brown on the other end. And Bruce Brown responds. 30-29 with a three of his own. Huge for Denver to get back in front. Big shot by Bruce Brown. Caleb Martin down low, and great defense by Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon altering the shot down low for the Heat. And then Jeff Green in the corner, and Jeff Green knocks down a three, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Eric Spoelstra with the timeout. And Denver, just like that, looking like they've been on fire the whole time. That's incredible. I mean, they went from struggling in this game to now they're knocking down three after three. And sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of defense. Denver, they started to tighten down on the Miami Heat, prevent them from getting those open looks from three. Miami starting to miss shots. The guy that was making shots for Max Strus has been on the bench the entire time. And you can tell that that is translated to the Denver Nuggets. Guarding the other players on the outside, they're not making the threes. And they're doing a good job in interior defense. Caleb Martin had a drive to the rim. And then you had Aaron Gordon with the tough defense, not allowing him to be able to get that easy layup to go. He misses the shot, and then you've got Denver on the other end with back-to-back threes. And sometimes, again, all it takes is a little bit of defense. Once you get your defense going, then your offense starts to respond. And then when you get your home crowd involved, which Mile High Arena is coming to life, that's bad news for Miami. Jimmy Butler has been in a funk actually for the last few games. I'm not saying he's been playing poorly, but Jimmy Butler is going to have to find a way to start playing at a higher level in this playoff series, in these finals, because if not, I don't know if Miami's going to have enough offense. If Denver continues their high level of offense that they've been playing with for the majority of these 2023 NBA playoffs, I really do think that Butler's going to have to find a way to respond. He was doing a great job against the Bucks. He had 56 points in one game, 45 points in another game. He was great to get Miami here. Then they beat the Knicks. Then they beat the Celtics. The Celtics was a total team effort. You look at Jimmy Butler. He had a couple of really good games against the Celtics, but it was Caleb Martin. It was a bunch of guys playing at an extremely high level for Miami, which helped get Miami over Boston, over the top. But in this series, Jimmy Butler in game one wasn't really his natural self. Had a solid game, but it wasn't elite and wasn't an elite performance. And then tonight so far, he has not been a factor. And Bam Adebayo, he's kind of falling apart again, not playing the way he was in game one where he had 26 points. So Miami, it's been more of the role players, which is fine. They're only down by 4, so it was not the panic button yet, not time to hit that. No danger zone yet. They're still in the game. But the tide's starting to turn a little bit back in Denver's favor. And once Denver gets rolling, it's hard to turn that around. Denver is an elite team at home. And once they get that confidence, once all of their players start knocking shots down, it just makes them such a dangerous team because you can't guard them all. Somebody's going to be getting a relatively open shot. And if everybody's on fire, there's almost nothing you can do about it. It seemed like Christian Braun made an impact. Christian Braun off the bench, just coming in, hitting a couple tough shots, doing, a couple of good plays, saving the ball from going out of bounds, defending at a high level, saving the ball from being a turnover. Several times, Christian Braun, in the couple of minutes he's been in, made a positive impact. And that kind of helped lead Denver to this turnaround. And then you get Bruce Brown, Jeff Green hitting back-to-back threes. And just like that, Denver is up by 4 when they were down by 11 points in the first quarter when Max Strus was canning 3 after 3. And Denver just looked really sluggish on the offensive end. But all of that has turned around. We'll have to see with this timeout by Eric Spoelstra if the Heat can find a way to turn around their game and get back rolling again, because they can't fall behind by too much, because if Mile High Arena gets too loud, Miami might crumble a little bit. Do not fall by too much against the Denver Nuggets. Miami is a team that's got shooters, so they can kind of shoot their way back into a game, but still don't want to fall behind by too much. Heat with the ball. Out of the timeout. Can they get a bucket? Bam down low to Duncan Robinson. There's a turnover. Great hands by the Nuggets. Christian Braun to Jamal Murray in the corner, and Jamal Murray for 3. Denver has hit 3 threes in 3 straight possessions, and they're now up by 7. 36-29. Big shot by Jamal Murray, but an even better pass by Christian Braun to get it to his star player in the corner. You've got Bam down low with a step back too, and Bam is cold to start this game still. Aaron Gordon going down the floor, and I think there's a foul down low. What a collision between Gabe Vincent and Jeff Green. I don't think there's any free throws because we're still really early in this game in the second quarter. So it's not going to be any free throws, but that was a big collision down low with Gabe Vincent and Jeff Green. I think they're going to give the foul on the Heat. So it will remain Denver Nuggets basketball. That was a lot of contact. But Jamal Murray in the corner for 3, that's a great looking shot by him. Maybe that will really boost his confidence. You've got Bruce Brown, top of the key, getting a ball screen. Kicks back to Jeff Green, to Bruce Brown, to Christian Braun. Great passing to Aaron Gordon in the corner, and Aaron Gordon crashes the three-point party. 39-29. Everybody's hitting threes for the Nuggets. They're up by 10. Mile High Arena, all of them are on their feet, all their fans. Can Miami respond? Max Strus is back into the game. Maybe he can respond with a 3 of his own. He's been great to start for the Heat. Lowry to Gabe Vincent. Vincent to Bam. Bam on the left block, trying to drive on Bruce Brown. He goes up strong. He misses yet again. Hayden Hossman, though, was a great offensive rebound. to Strus to Vincent and Gabe Vincent for 3. That will quiet the crowd a little bit. Maybe that will give a little bit of leeway for the Heat. They cut it to 7. Big shot by Gabe Vincent, but an even better offensive rebound by Hayden Hossman. That's going to keep earning him some minutes if he keeps doing things like that. Jamal Murray over to Bruce Brown for 3. His shot's off the mark, and Bam with the easy clear-out board. Bam to Lowry. Down the floor. Lowry almost with a turnover, and there is a turnover. Jamal Murray racing down the floor for the dunk. What a dunk by Jamal Murray. And he was fouled as well. An unbelievable throwdown by Jamal Murray. It looked like he could have went up with a layup, but instead he went all dunk mode right there. That was a fantastic dunk, taking contact while he was not afraid to take flight, knowing that there will be some contact, and Miami was not going to let him just go up easily with that dunk there. That was a fantastic dunk by Murray. Looked like Strus got all ball, but then he got Murray in the head. So if he hadn't got Murray in the head, it would have been clean. He got all ball, but then he got Murray in the head. But that was an incredible dunk by Jamal Murray. Don't know if that's Sports Center top 10, but that might be worthy for sure. That was a great play. And it would be even better if he can finish off the three-point play, which he does. Nothing but net. 42-32, 10-point lead for the Denver Nuggets. But that was an incredible dunk by Jamal Murray. An incredible dunk. Fantastic. Gabe Vincent on the other end cannot respond. And Miami really is starting to fall apart a little bit. They're down by 10, showing no signs of cutting down the Denver Nuggets lead. Murray at the top of the key after his massive dunk. What else does he have for the Nuggets? He's trying to shake Bam. Driving in the lane with a step back to over Bam Adebayo, and Murray scores again. Sometimes all it takes for Jamal Murray is one shot to go down, which was that 3 by Christian Braun, passing it to him in the corner. Murray hit that 3, and ever since then, Jamal Murray has been on fire. Got a big dunk, and now with an incredible turnaround jumper over Bam Adebayo. Hand in his face. Could have been a foul as well. No foul is called, but Jamal Murray is feeling it, and that is the worst of news that the Miami Heat could possibly get when you've got Jamal Murray playing at that high of a level. Nikola Jokic is doing his thing as well, and then everybody that's stepping onto the floor for the Nuggets is knocking down threes. And for Miami, all they have was Max Strus. That's gone away. He hasn't hit a 3 in a while. Nobody else is really doing it. Kyle Lowry and Gabe Vincent did both hit 1, but it's not going to be enough. They need more production, especially out of Jimmy Butler. We'll have to see if he can get going in this game. But Denver starting to pull away a little bit. Now starting to get in a little bit of a danger zone. Still 7:49 to go in the second quarter. You've got an entire second half. There's still plenty of time for the Heat to get back in this game. But it is starting to already get a little bit dangerous for Miami with how well Denver is playing after they struggled in the first quarter. Jeff said that was an offensive on Butler. I agree with you. I actually do agree with you. I think that might have been an offensive foul. It was either an offensive foul or it was nothing. It should not have been a foul, I don't really think, on Denver. He didn't really do that much. Maybe a little bit of bodily contact, but that was probably more due to the fact that Butler was going into him, like you said. So definitely could have been an offensive foul. But that is not shaking Denver at all. Denver is going out there playing at a high level despite whatever the refs call, for sure. Justin Miami wants to win. Definitely. I think like we said earlier, when Miami started this game, they had the right intensity. They had the right mindset. We're going to go out there and play our game, and we're going to play at as high a level as we possibly can, no matter what. Despite the crowd, despite how well Denver's been playing, we're just going to go in there and give it everything we've got. But unfortunately, the NBA is not won after the first quarter. And Miami might have led by 3 after the first quarter. But that's not going to get it done. You got to be the best team at the end of the game. And that's why there's still time. So for Denver, playing great right now, but you got to be the better team at the end of the game. You got to have the lead at the end. That's when it counts the most. But still, Miami had a really good first quarter, especially the first 8 to 9 minutes of that first quarter. They were great. Then it started to trail off. Then they only led by 3 at the end of the first, down by 12. So basically in the first 4 minutes and 11 seconds of this second quarter, the Miami Heat have a negative 15-point differential in a little over 4 minutes. They led by 3 at the end of the first. Now they're down by 12. So basically, Denver has completely dominated the last 4 minutes of game time. And really, you can go further back. If you go to around 3 or 4 minutes left in the first quarter, I think Miami still had about like 8. So really, if you just go in the last 8 minutes, Denver has a plus 20 on Miami. That's how good Denver's been in the last few minutes. And that's what Denver does. They go on these little spurts that just put you away. They did it against the Lakers in almost every single game. Denver had a run in almost every single game against the Lakers where they put them away. It was like a 6 to 8 minute stretch where they were just unbelievable. And then in game 1, basically Denver had it as well. Denver had some moments against Miami in game 1 where they were great, and that's what got them that lead. They did struggle down the stretch of the game, but they found a way to hold on with Jokic scoring some buckets late in the game. But still, if you look at Denver, sometimes they have these big runs. Right now, they're on a massive run that already has Miami in a lot of danger. Jimmy Butler, top of the key after the timeout by Erik Spoelstra. He's had to use a couple to try to settle his team down. Max Strus, top of the key. He's being guarded heavily by Jeff Green. Jimmy Butler in the corner, and Jimmy buckets for 3. That's big for Jimmy Butler to knock down that shot. Maybe that will get him going. 44-35. And I don't even really think that was the play necessarily that Miami was looking for. But that's the shot that they got, and thankfully for them, Butler made it. Murray in the corner almost loses the basketball, but somehow he keeps it. Jeff Green trying to drive on Hayden Hossman. Jeff Green has a weight advantage there, and Jeff Green drives, and Jeff Green is fouled by Hayden Hossman. And now Jeff Green will have a couple of free throws. He is a veteran player. He's a really solid free throw shooter. They're showing Jamal Murray stats of 27.6 points per game, 6.4 assists, 48% from the field, and 39% from the three-point line in the 2023 playoff. That's how great Jamal Murray has been. A true second star to Jokic. He's been great. Finally showing how good of a player he can be off of his injury. His injury set him back, but he's come back. He's come back from his injury, and he is playing some great basketball, not letting that injury phase him no longer. He's looking like 2020 bubble Jimmy Murray, Jamal Murray. He's doing a great job, and Jimmy Butler is not looking like the Jimmy Butler we saw from a few games ago, whereas Jamal Murray is looking like the player we saw 3 years ago, and that's the difference. Right now, that is literally the difference for the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler's got to regain the series form against the Milwaukee Bucks. Whereas for Jamal Murray, just keep doing what you're doing and keep playing like you were in the 2020 bubble. And he might be even better than he was in the 2020 bubble because he's doing other things better, not just scoring, but also passing as well with those 6 assists. Miami misses a 3 in the corner. Kevin Love couldn't make the shot. He gets his own offensive rebound, but could not get the tap back to go. Jeff Green hit 2 free throws on the previous possession to get the Nuggets up by 11. And after Miami misses, Christian Braun obliterates the rim. He dunks it home. 48-35. Denver's up by 13. And now Butler in the corner to Max Strus. He can't make the 3. Jokic with the rebound, going up the floor, showing as much speed as he possibly can in the mid-range like he's going to shoot. Instead, kicks to Jamal Murray, and Jamal Murray cannot can the 3. Miami with a little bit of a reprieve right there. Bam, going up the floor. And he almost had a turnover. They're going to call a foul down low. 6:02 to go in the second quarter. Foul on the Nuggets. But Denver is shooting threes, and they're dunking on the rim. I mean, look at that dunk by Christian Braun. Could have been a foul as well. Looks like Max Strus might have fouled him a little. That's a fantastic dunk by Christian Braun. Denver is so confident right now, not looking nowhere like the team that they were early on in this game. They're doing a much better job in the second quarter. Christian Braun in 8 minutes is 6 points. He's playing well. Butler down low to Kevin Love, back to Butler, and Butler misses a mid-range shot that he definitely normally makes. Denver going back the other way. Bruce Brown in the lane. His shot is off the mark, and Miami ends up with the ball with Gabe Vincent tapping it out to Bam. Miami needs buckets. What can they do? I think they need to get inside, try to get fouled, but they're definitely going to have to find a way to defend Denver, which is extremely tough right now with everyone playing well. Miami's missed their last 5 field goals. Gabe Vincent outside to Strus. Can Strus get going again? Strus shoots a 3, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Bam Adebayo. And the unfortunate thing is Max Strus made the 3. So Max Strus, that would have been his 5th 3 of the game, but they call that foul on Bam. I don't know. You can make an argument KCP wrapped around Bam. It's close, but I do think Bam moved his foot, which is always a sign of an illegal screen. You got to be able to not move your foot. You got to stay completely straight in your base. But KCP, you could have argued for an offensive foul there at the bang-bang play. Refs called the foul on Bam Adebayo. Denver down the floor. Bruce Brown attacking to the rim with his offhand, and he lays it in. 50-35. Denver is up by 15. Miami needs points. Can Jimmy Butler get going? But Denver's doing a great job. Butler in the lane. Kicks to Strus. To Kevin Love for three, and Kevin Love, the veteran, formerly of the Cleveland Cavaliers, knocks down that three. That's a big shot. 50-38. 12-point game. Denver's hit 7 threes. Miami's hit 8. But Denver's been the better overall team. They've got more assists. They've got more rebounds. And they definitely got more great dunks than the Heat. It's not always just about the three-point line. Bruce Brown, he does fumble the ball there. Gabe Vincent with the steal down the lane, and Gabe Vincent for 2 and 1. 50-40. That's a nice response by the Heat. 10-point game, so they were down by 15, but now it is only a 10-point game after Gabe Vincent gets that steal, goes all the way to the rim, and Christian Braun with one of his only mistakes of the game with a foul right there. Sometimes when a player is going down the floor like that, you just got to let him score because you're already beat. There's been several possessions in this game by both teams where a player's gotten all the way to the rim, and then you try to block it, and then you get the foul. Like when Jimmy Butler had that one play, you just got to let him have that shot. You cannot be standing right there. Even if it was an offensive foul on Butler, you cannot be right there if you're Murray. You just can't pick up that foul. Duncan Robinson, that one play on the inbounds, where he was right there, and they called a chippy on him. 5 seconds of him being into the game. This play right here, you just saw Gabe Vincent getting all the way to the rim, and then there's a cheap foul on Christian Braun. Didn't have to have it. Now you're giving him an extra free throw. And then with Jamal Murray's incredible dunk, that was another play. Let it go. You do not have it. You're beat on the play, but you foul anyway. There's been a lot of plays in this game. I know it's the effort. It's the mentality of never give up. If I can come out with an incredible block, that would be fantastic. Maybe swing the momentum my way, my team's way. But still, you just can't foul when a player is going to the rim like that when they're already at the rim. Because most of the time they're going to score. So now you're giving them a 3-point play. If you're going to foul, you got to make sure within the realm that you're not getting a flagrant, but you got to make sure they don't score. You got to do everything you possibly can to foul them without them scoring the bucket, because if they score the bucket and you foul, that is the worst possible scenario. And again, a tight play that you should have just let go. But Miami, though, to their credit, not giving up despite being on the road. They're doing a really solid job of not folding. They were down by 15. They led by 11, and then they got down by 15 a couple minutes ago. So that was a 26-point swing for them. Denver was on a roll, but Miami trying to cut into this lead a little bit, and Gabe Vincent gets it back to single digits. 50-41. Gabe Vincent having a fairly solid first half. Jamal Murray with Jimmy Butler on, the 2 stars. Now over to Christian Braun. He's been playing a lot of minutes in this game with how well he's been playing. Down low to Jokic, and Jokic with a mistake right there. Had a easy look. Fantastic pass by Christian Braun. Jokic just couldn't make the shot. Nobody's perfect. Nobody can make every single shot. That was an incredible pass. Jokic definitely had that shot. Could have finished it there. Butler down low. Kicks it back outside to Kevin Love. Now to Bam in the mid-range outside to Strus to Kevin Love again. Great defense by Denver. They're all over Strus with a step-back 3. And then they call a foul on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Another mistake by Denver. You don't have to have that. You've got Max Strus way out there shooting that deep 3, and then you foul him on the arm. That is a terrible foul by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. You don't have to do it. He's shooting the ball from almost the logo, the Denver Nuggets logo at half court. You've played great defense the entire possession, and then you foul him on the 3. And Max Strus is a great free throw shooter, so he usually makes his free throws, but he does miss the first. But still, you can't foul Max Strus. That could keep him in rhythm to shoot more 3s. His second free throw is good. So it's 50-42. So regardless, a big mistake by KCP. Should not have fouled right there. It's just a terrible foul. You can't put your hand on his arm when he's going up with a shot. Just a mistake. And again, nobody's perfect, but KCP got to realize that he does not need to foul on that play right there. Christian Braun's going to the bench for a well-deserved rest. He played fantastic, and the Nuggets fans gave him a standing O as he went to the bench. Miami, though, is on an 8-0 run in the last 1 minute and 10 seconds. Again, shows you how quickly teams can score in the NBA. Strus went 2 for 3 at the line to cut it to 7. Jokic outside to Jamal Murray. Jimmy Butler on Murray, trying to make a move to Jokic. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Jokic in the lane, blocked by Bam. Jokic gets it back and scores. Could have been an and one. He doesn't get it. But what a shot. How did he have the strength to go up over Bam? I have no idea. That was a great play. 52-43. 9-point game. Top of the key. Miami airballs a 3. That time Max Strus was not feeling it on that shot. That was an air ball by him, something that's pretty rare. As good of a three-point shooter as he is, he usually does not airball from the outside, but he airballs that 3. 52-43, 3 to go in the second quarter. Jamal Murray at the top of the key, still being guarded by Butler. It's been the primary defensive matchup with Murray having Butler on him. A 3 by KCP, can't knock down the shot. Jimmy Butler has the rebound. Miami with numbers down the floor. Bam, trying to kick it to Gabe Vincent. Back to Bam Adebayo in the mid-range. Bam kicks to Strus, to Jimmy Butler in the mid-range, where he is a fantastic scorer. Trying to go up over KCP, and he does. What a shot by Butler, and it's a 7-point game. Miami's doing exactly what they need to do. Chip away at the lead, maybe get it to around a 5-point game at the half, where they will definitely feel like they still have a chance in this game. Aaron Gordon to Jokic, to Murray for 3, and Murray shots off the mark. And Jimmy Butler's on the deck. He's being helped to his feet, but like he got a little bit banged up on that play. Don't know if there was a foul that was missed or not, but it looks like he's a little banged up. Gabe Vincent with the ball being guarded by Murray. Gabe Vincent off the dribble. Driving in the lane, and Gabe Vincent for 2. 52-47, it's a 5-point game. Under 2 to go in the second quarter. Jamal Murray up the floor. 12-2 run by the Heat. Murray off the dribble. Gets a screen from Jokic. Murray trying to drive. Kicks to Aaron Gordon in the mid-range. And Gordon had a really good-looking shot there. Just couldn't get it to go. And the ball is saved, though, to the Nuggets. Miami could not end up with the ball. Good hustle by Denver to keep it. Porter Jr. in the corner for 3. And his shot's off the mark. Strus with the board. Vincent down the floor. 1:20 to go in the second quarter, and Miami can't believe they're just down 5 after they were down by 15 a few minutes ago. Love for 3. His shot is off the mark. That would have cut it to 2. And really quiet in Mile High Arena, but he couldn't get that one to fall. The ball's going down the floor. Then they're going to call a kick ball. It will remain with the Nuggets. But it's 52-47. Denver is up by 5, but Miami has come roaring back into this game, and they'll be down more than likely by a deficit. That will at least give them a chance to compete in the second half. They've done a great job not giving up. Gabe Vincent had 19 points in game 1. He's already got 12 points tonight in the first half. He's having a great game, on pace to potentially have over 20 points. Jokic on Cody Zeller, who's back into the game. Outside to Porter Jr. Porter Jr. in the lane. The ball's tapped way up in the air, but somehow it still remains with Denver. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 2, 1. Caldwell Pope pulls up from the outside. How is that a foul on Gabe Vincent? They're going to call a foul on Gabe Vincent. Maybe they're going to say because he didn't let him land, but Eric Spoelstra is incredulous on that one because of the fact Gabe Vincent fell to the floor trying to go for the ball, and then Caldwell Pope shoots the 3 and lands right on Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent was trying to go for the ball, and he slipped. I don't know. That is a tough spot to be in if you are Gabe Vincent on that play. You slip trying to go for the ball. Caldwell Pope goes up for the shot. I think it will be 3 free throws. Both feet were behind the line, and he gets the foul. Sometimes that's just wrong place, wrong time. Caldwell Pope hits the first free throw, but that definitely was not as bad of a foul on Gabe Vincent on the 3 as you saw with the Denver Nuggets with Caldwell Pope fouling Strus. That was a much worse foul because you did not need it at all. Fouling him right on the arm, but at least with Gabe Vincent. It was a slip. He fell to the floor, and then he got that foul call. Him nowhere near as bad. But Caldwell Pope knocks down the first 2 free throws, and that might get him going because he's only has 5 points, and he's only hit 1 field goal. So maybe these free throws will get him going. He knocks them all down. 55-47. 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. Heat down by 8, but still down by a much more preferable deficit, much more manageable deficit than they had a couple of minutes ago. Butler in the lane, being guarded by Jokic. Butler trying to make a move. Somehow gets the shot over Jokic, and he gets it to fall. What a shot by Jimmy Butler. Incredible. 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. You've got Jamal Murray bringing it up the floor. Butler with 11 points, 3 boards, and 4 assists. I don't know if that's SportsCenter top 10. That was a great shot. And then you've got Jokic to Aaron Gordon with a reverse. I can't say it was a dunk because I don't think he put his hands on the rim, but with a reverse layup, that was fantastic. He was under the goal. That was a great play. Jokic with 13 points and 3 assists, but Denver going back to their passing ways right there. That was fantastic. Jimmy Butler off the dribble, and they're going to call a foul on the Nuggets. I don't think the Nuggets are in the bonus yet, so I don't think there will be any free throws, but still, what a play by Jokic to Gordon with the reverse. That's athleticism right there. Fantastic awareness by Jokic to find his man, and then Gordon with the wherewithal to go up from under the rim and lay it in. That is a great play. 57-49. 8-point game, 7 seconds to go in the second quarter. One more shot for the Heat. 5 seconds. Can they cut it down to a 2-possession game? Strus to Bam, and Bam for 2 in the mid-range. 57-51, 1 second to go. Jokic pulls up from 3. Some almost hit it. Somehow hit the front rim on that. Jokic is a magnet for the rim. If he had to hit that 3, that would have been the top play on SportsCenter. We've seen some incredible plays, but Jokic almost hit the shot of his life right there. Incredible, but it was a little bit short. But Denver still had a pretty solid first half. They're up by 6 at that, 57-51. But Miami, led by 11 in the first quarter, gave up the lead, fell behind by 15, got back in the game, and now they're down by a fairly manageable deficit. They can still come back and win. But still, you see how well the Nuggets are playing. It's going to be a tall task for the Heat to play better in the second half to get the win, but we'll have to see. But definitely a really good first half that had a lot of highlight reel moments. Jeff says, Austin for the Joker. He is a beast. 100%. I mean, Nikola Jokic, I don't know how much more can possibly be said about his offensive level of play. I know people talk about his defense. Yes, his defense isn't the best. He still plays really hard on that end of the floor. It's just not his strongest point on the court. He's definitely a much better defender or offensive player than a defender. His defense is a little bit weak, but he's a much better defender now than he was when he first got in the NBA. If people remember when he first got in the NBA, he was nowhere near as good at defense as he is now. He's gotten better, but I will say he's a much better offensive player than a defender. That's just the way it is, but still, you can't expect the guy to be as good of a player on defense as he is on offense. If he was just as good at defense as offense, he would be by far the best player in the NBA. It would be incredible. But his offensive game, taking out the defense, and he's a much improved defender as is. He's gotten better. But just looking at his offense, he's probably the most all-around player in the NBA currently. Because I don't know how many players in the NBA are as good at all of the things that Jokic does. Rebounding on both ends of the floor. He's a great offensive rebounder. He's a great defensive rebounder. His assists are not overrated. Some people talk about, well, he's got a great team around him, so that's why he gets a lot of assists. Well, the thing is, he was great at passing the ball when his team wasn't as good. It's just the fact that now that his teammates are hitting more of the shots that he's passing the ball to them, it makes his assist numbers go up. Because somebody could have 25 great passes in a game, but if every single shot off those passes is a miss, you're not going to get any assists. You're going to have 0 assists to your name. But the player that you pass the ball to has to make the shot for you to get the assist. So, yes, it does help for Jokic that he has a really solid team around him, and that's why he's getting a lot of assists. But still, why are they making the shots? Because Jokic puts the ball right on them. They don't have to reach over and have to grab the ball and then go up with the shot. You can still make a 3 that way, but it's a lot easier to catch the ball right in front of you in the shooting pocket. And that's what Jokic does so well. He passes the ball right where a player needs it to be able to shoot the ball easier and have a higher percentage of a chance of making that shot. So again, Jokic is a much improved defender than what he was when he first came to the NBA. His offense is all over the place. He's great at everything. He's a fantastic scorer from the three-point line. Almost hit a half-court three. Beyond half-court three. That was an insane shot he almost hit. But he can shoot threes. He can get inside and score. He can do it all. He can dribble himself. That's another thing. He can handle the ball. He can do everything on the offensive end. He's that great of a player. And that's what makes it almost impossible for anybody to stop. And if he was the only great player on the team or like the only star and you didn't have Jamal Murray, it'd be a lot potentially easier to beat Denver because then you could probably double Jokic more. It's hard to double in the NBA anyway. You look at college basketball and a lot of teams that double a big. And they do that because usually that means that the team doesn't have great three-point shooters. You see it all the time in college basketball where you double a big. But if you double Jokic, somebody's going to be left open. And then Jokic has the passing ability to get that ball to the outside. They're going to knock down the three. So it's hard to double. It's very, very hard to double Jokic. You just got a single coverage, hope he misses sometimes. Bam's tried. Cody Zeller's tried, but they can't guard Jokic one-on-one. That's why Jokic is putting up points fairly easily on them. And then he's passing the ball at a high level. I feel like Jokic, potentially you could say didn't even have one of his better first halves because he only has like 3 assists. I think part of it because of the fact that not all the shots that he passed to his teammates were, made buckets. But still, I think that if he gets his assist numbers up to around 10, 11 like he usually does and he can get to around 28 to 30 points, that means Denver's probably in great shape. But on the Miami side, Jimmy Butler, he did come to life a bit in the second quarter, which I think is very important for the Heat. They need Jimmy Butler to get going. They don't have to have Jimmy Butler score 40 to win because of the fact if Jimmy Butler's teammates are helping him out, then he doesn't have to score that much. He can score around 25 points and still win the game. But still, I do think that it would increase Miami's chances if Jimmy Butler gets on fire because maybe that would make some of his teammates shoot better from three. Who knows? But the one thing that is hurting Miami is that they're not getting the consistent amount of production out of their role players like they were in the previous couple of series, especially Boston. If Boston had got the Miami that has played against Denver so far, I really do feel like the Boston Celtics would be here instead of the Heat. But Miami played good enough in 4 games against Boston. And Boston played poorly enough in those 4 games that they're not here. And all credit to Miami. They deserved to be here. They were fantastic. And they still got a really good team. And they're only down by 6 in this game despite not potentially having the greatest first half in the world. They're only down by 6 on the road. So it's not all too bad for Miami. But you still see guys like Caleb Martin, who in the Boston Celtics series, Caleb Martin had 25 points, 22 points, 19 points. He was great. He's nowhere to be found. Max Strus was nowhere to be found in game 1. He's at least arrived in game 2. Gabe Vincent's been fairly solid in both games. Duncan Robinson, he's tried but hasn't really had too much of an impact. But those guys got to step up for Miami. Kyle Lowry's had his moments, but I just don't know if he has the offensive punch that Miami needs at this stage of his career. He's had a couple big games this year, but it's way too few and far between. So really, I think that unless Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, those kind of guys start to make shots in the second half, Jimmy Butler's going to put a lot more pressure on him to score more in the second half. So we'll have to see if he can do it. I think Jimmy Butler has it in him. I don't think that he's taken Miami all the way here. He's led this team to just lose, 4-0 or even 4-1. I think he definitely wants to make this a dogfight series, and I think that he wants to give the Heat a chance to win, put a lot of pressure on Denver. Because if Miami wins this game, that's putting pressure on Denver. If Miami wins, then you're basically saying that we can win this series because we have to win a road game. And if we win a road game, all we got to do is win our home game. So then that would put the pressure on Denver that now you're going to have to win a game at Miami. So I think that this is a very important game for Miami. If they don't win this game, it's not like they're completely finished. But it just makes it where you have to win the next 2 games. If Miami wins this game, you can drop a home game. Not preferable, but still. The Heat really need to win this game, but at least being competitive and losing in a close game might give them enough momentum to potentially win the next 2 games, keep the series alive for as long as possible. But Denver's playing so well. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if Miami's even going to get a chance to stick around that long? The Nuggets are doing a great job. But Miami is definitely a team that needs more out of Butler, and they need more out of the role players if they're going to have a shot to win. Jeff says if it wasn't for Strus, Miami would be down. For sure, when you wrote this comment, definitely Miami was winning, and Strus was the only reason that they were winning. Strus has done a really good job. He's a streaky shooter, just like Duncan Robinson. When they're on, then it makes Miami a great team. When they're not on, it definitely makes Miami a much more beatable team because they've got 2 guys that are rotational players and really aren't contributing much else. I mean, Robinson and Strus, especially Strus, I mean, he can play some defense, but he's a much better offensive player. He's in the game to shoot threes. He's in the game to make threes. And when he's not, I mean, it hurts. I feel like for Denver, another thing that makes Denver so dangerous is they have a lot of guys that aren't just shooters. They have a lot of guys that you can say, yeah, he can make a shot. He can knock down a 3, but he's also just as capable of going inside and scoring, like Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon was not a great 3-point shooter a couple years ago. Now he's improved tremendously, which I think a lot of it's the confidence of Jokic getting the ball to him in good spots. He's been making shots, and it's helped his confidence and ability to knock down threes. But Aaron Gordon's a guy that can dunk at the rim, get to the rim, and dunk at an extremely high level. I mean, he's a fantastic player down low. It's not even just about dunking the ball. He's got great reverse. He's just always has a nose for the ball down low. Always is there to, like that reverse layup you saw. He's that good down low. And again, those pulverizing dunks, he might be the most known for, but he's got some great moves down low. Always seems to be in the right spot for Jokic or Murray to pass it to him down low. And now that he can shoot threes, I think helps his case being able to get those plays down low, because you got to guard them all over the floor. Then you look at Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. can shoot the 3. He's a fairly tall player, just like Aaron Gordon, but he can also do some dirty work down low. I mean, again, both of those guys make Denver such a great team, especially when they're both on. And then Bruce Brown and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, they haven't been as good the last couple games, but for the majority of these playoffs, for Denver, they've been great, and they're both guards that can get hot from 3, but they're both also really good off the dribble. Again, something that Duncan Robinson and Max Strus can do for Miami. They can go off the dribble and get to the rim, but Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown can get to the rim, and they can really get to the rim. Jeff Green still can at his age. I feel like Jeff Green's more important just for the veteran mentality that he has, kind of like how Boston had Al Horford. And then you look at Miami, they've got Jimmy Butler, who is an older guy and very experienced, even though he is still a superstar at his age. They've got Kevin Love, who's a veteran, who's been in the NBA for a long time. Kyle Lowry as well. Every team needs that veteran player. And Jeff Green provides that. He's been all over the place in the NBA, has so much NBA experience. I think that just him being on the team helps out Denver. And then you've got an aspiring, rookie in Christian Braun that is looking to get better, that's playing at a high level and showing confidence. And when he comes in, he makes a positive impact. He's going to be a guy that Denver probably will have for years to come. Just all over the roster, Denver just has a team that everybody that comes in can do a lot of things. They're not just one-trick ponies where they can only shoot the 3 or they can only rebound. A lot of these guys are capable of doing so much well. That's why they're good. With Miami, they've got a lot of guys that can do a lot, but I do feel like they are a bit limited in the fact that when they're on with Strus and Robinson and Caleb Martin from the outside, they're great. But I just don't feel like those guys can get to the rim enough on a consistent basis, and they don't defend at a high enough level to really make them true threats. They're great when they're on, but when they're not, then that just makes Miami's offense kind of stall to a halt because they don't have the capabilities to do the other things that you have to do when you're not making the shots. So it's really interesting. It just makes Denver a more complete team. Doesn't mean Miami can't win because Miami's beaten some really great teams to get here. But that's because they were on fire shooting the ball. They're not doing that right now, and they're only down by 6. But we'll have to see if they can come back and win this game or not. Nan says, looks like Denver has come alive 100%. I agree with you. Denver has come to life. They're playing some fantastic basketball, and you can tell that they want to win the title this year. They are out there, and they are playing extremely hard. Whichever team that they played, it doesn't matter whether it was the Timberwolves, whether it was the Lakers, or whether it was the Phoenix Suns, and now with Miami. They've been great in every single series. They've been fantastic. I mean, they look like a team on a mission from the jump, from the first NBA playoff game, even from the first game in the regular season. You got Jamal Murray when Jamal Murray returned. You could just feel like Denver was on a mission to say, we can win it this year. We have the team. No one's believing in us because of the fact that we've lost so many times earlier in the playoffs. A lot of that's to do with the fact that Jamal Murray, was out for a couple years with an injury. And before that, Denver didn't have the team that they currently have. They didn't have the type players around Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic like they do now back then. And plus Jamal Murray was a lot younger. I mean, they've gotten older. Jokic and Murray are a lot more experienced now. He's back 100% healthy with Murray. And then they've got a lot, more depth on their team, a lot more players who can really help. Denver is a much better team than they were before. So I definitely think that Denver should not have been overlooked this season. I know it's a lot easier to say that right now when you're looking at Denver and they're in the finals. But still, no one really thought Denver would get here. Denver is not as much of a shock as Miami, just based on the circumstances that Miami had. Miami's done a great job to get here, but people probably thought it would be the 76ers, Celtics, or Bucks, which did not occur for various circumstances. But Denver was a great team this season. I mean, they're the 1 seed in the West for a reason. They won all their games. They were fantastic. They were great at home. And when you're great at home, that usually carries over to big games in playoff games. And that's what Denver's done. So it's very interesting for sure. Definitely, Denver could have lost earlier than this, but they went out there and they're proving time and time again that they are a legit team. They are fantastic. They can keep this team together. Denver could be great for years to come. And if they can win a title this year, that could boost their confidence to even greater heights than ever before, potentially help their quest to continue winning more titles in the future if they can win it this year. It's going to be really interesting, but Denver has a great team. Jeff says, I agree, Denver has come alive. Both of you are right, Jeff and Nana. Really appreciate, again, both of you guys for being here, but for sure, Denver starting to play much better basketball, and if they can continue that for 24 more minutes in this game, they will go up 2-0 on Miami and potentially put Miami in a precarious spot, down 2-0, that they're going to have to win the next 2 home games to give themselves at least a chance to win this series. Jeff says Denver is mile high on fire now. 100%. I mean, Mile High Arena, it's called out for a reason because they are mile high, over a mile high in the air. They are a great home atmosphere with their crowd. High altitude makes it tough for road teams. It's incredible, the home atmosphere that Denver has, and especially the fact that Denver is now a great team. And their fans show out. Denver did not have the fan support when they were not as good of a team. They still had a lot of fans, but that place is packed night in and night out now because they have the team that they have. And they're in the finals, and their fans, they want the first title in Denver franchise history. In the corner, Denver to start the third quarter, and Denver with a miss. Michael Porter Jr. cannot make the three. Had a great looking shot in the corner. Jokic with a great pass, just could not get it to fall. Miami with a chance to cut into Denver's lead even more. Butler into the lane. Kicks in the corner to Gabe Vincent, and Gabe Vincent for three. 57-54, 3-point game, and Denver scores on the other end. 59-54, just like that. That's why I was already going with 59, because of the fact the Nuggets have already scored. Incredible offense by the Nuggets. Caldwell poked to Gordon on that play. That was an incredible dunk and an incredible response by Denver, showing that Miami making that three to start the second half, and then Denver with the response. Twos might not count as much as threes, but that was a splashy dunk for sure. Great dunk right there. Great pass. Nuggets up by 5. Butler with the basketball, being guarded by Aaron Gordon, top of the key. Can Butler start making some more shots? Strus in the lane. Strus to Bam. Bam with an incredible reverse. He's looking at potentially for a foul. He's not going to get it, but that was incredible. That was an incredible play by Bam Adebayo, showing off his athleticism, not to be outshined. Jokic is driving into the lane with Bam on him. Bam trying to defend, but it's not a contest because Jokic scores again. It looks so effortless, but it's not. That is a tough play by Jokic. Bam did everything he could without fouling, but it just did not matter. Jokic scored anyway. 61-56. Make that 61-59. Kevin Love for 3. and the Heat are only down by 2. Miami is playing great again. It's incredible. It looked like they were potentially in a lot of danger in the second quarter, but they are back in this game. We've got a ball game. Jokic at the top of the key to Murray. Back to Jokic. Jokic for 3. Bam with a hand in his face. It does not matter because Jokic knocks down the shot. 64-59. You can tell Eric Spoelstra's worried because Jokic, when he's making shots like that, that makes his passing so much more dangerous as well, because that's when you might want to think about trying to double him, which you just can't do. Too many players for Denver can't score. We'll have to see how Miami tries to defend him. Gabe Vincent gets a pass from Butler, and Gabe Vincent knocks down a 3. That was a great pass by Jimmy Butler. 64-62. 9:21 to go in the third quarter, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Both teams came out very aggressive in this third quarter. Both teams are making shots. Jeff says it's a top 10 dunk for sure for Murray. I think so. I think you are right. It has to be a top 10 dunk, unless there were a top 10 play. I think you look at overall all the plays of the day. There's other sports going on. Definitely some great plays being made in other sports, but I think that has to be a SportsCenter top 10 play right there for Murray. Fantastic dunk. And the fact he got fouled as well, incredible. Because overall, when you are, a guy that has the ability to dunk like Jamal Murray, and you can get some highlight reel dunks, it makes it all the sweeter when you get fouled as well, because you're taking contact. The risk that you can get fouled in the air and potentially fall to the court and get hurt. And Murray has already been hurt in his career on a non-contact injury. Even though that was non-contact, and that is, through contact, getting fouled on that dunk, it still isn't probably in the back of Murray's mind. I mean, it has to be tough when you get really hurt and you're out for a long time to be able to bounce back and be able to take the bruises and the bumps, in games with big plays like that. But Murray showing no fear, going up for that dunk, getting fouled, dunking it home, a fantastic dunk, and then getting the free throw as well. Has to be a top 10 SportsCenter play. Fantastic by Murray. Nana said Miami's trying to make a game out. We will have to see what happens in the second half. I agree with you, Nana, 100%. We've got a long way to go yet. Definitely, it's good that the Miami Heat got back in this game, because if they fell behind by too much, it would have probably been a blowout for sure if they just gave up, and Denver would have easily won this game. Miami said, well, we'll just have to get the next 2 at home. Miami, the one thing that's got to give them credit for is they haven't given up. In most games, Miami has never really gotten blown out too bad in a game. They had a couple of games in these playoffs where they've been blown out, but it's very rare. They usually stick around. They're still over almost about 20 minutes left, around 20 minutes, 21 minutes left in this game for it to go wrong for the Heat or wrong for the Nuggets. We'll have to see, but definitely we have a game. Really appreciate you guys for being here. Jeff says, what a pretty play. Been a lot of great plays tonight, definitely. Several plays that could be SportsCenter top 10. I'm sure we'll have some more great plays before this game's done. Jeff said both teams came to play. I mean, I agree. And again, you have to have that if you're both teams and you're both coaches and you're both of the team's players. This is the finals. You can't expect anything less. I mean, if this is a regular season game, maybe there's stuff, like stakes on the line for seeding toward the end of the playoffs. But in most regular season games, teams play hard, especially when your rivals are like, if there's players that have a previous history against each other and they want to outshine the other, so they're playing really hard against each other. But I think the biggest thing with looking at this, this game here, this series, it's the finals. You got to play hard. There's no reason not to play hard when this is the end of your season, and who knows when you'll get back to the finals, especially when you are a team like Denver that has never been to the finals before. Yes, they're probably a team that you think could get back to the finals in the future because of the team that they have, but still, you got to take every advantage of being in your first finals ever. For Miami, they're an 8 seed. I mean, they're an underdog. No one really thought that they would, be able to be here after the season that they had. So both teams came to play. I agree with you, Jeff, but they should have come to play, and it's very awesome that they have, because it is making for a great game. And right as I said, Jackson, thanks for stopping by. So this is a great game tonight, 100% for sure. And we've got a long way to go, still over halfway done, but still almost 2 quarters left. It's been a great game. Should be a great ending for sure. Jokic misses a 3. Kevin Love up the floor to Bam, and there's a foul on Jokic. That was a hard foul by Jokic to prevent Bam Adebayo from being able to score on that play. Oh, Butler. Butler looked like he was out of bounds. They just showed a replay of a couple of possessions ago when Gabe Vincent hit that three on a Jimmy Butler pass. Butler's foot was on the out of bounds line. That's crazy. Are they going to change this or not? I don't know if they can because that was several possessions ago. They might be reviewing the Jokic ban for potential flagrant foul. I don't know if that's a flagrant foul. That's just Jokic stopping Adebayo. I know they would say that's a take foul. In the modern NBA, they call a lot of fouls like that as technical fouls because of the fact you're preventing a guy from making his move. But that can't be a foul. I mean, it is a foul, but it can't be a flagrant foul. There's no way. I don't think that should be a flagrant foul, but you never know. It could be. But I'm surprised. I mean, I know that you can't really go back several plays earlier in the game, but I mean, Jimmy Butler, his foot was out of bounds. So that's 3 points Miami got that they really shouldn't have had. Gabe Vincent's three, definitely very lucky that the referees did not catch Jimmy Butler's foot on the out of bounds line. Now we're going to have to see, is Miami going to catch another break? And are they going to call a flagrant foul or a technical foul on Nikola Jokic for grabbing Adebayo as they went down the floor? I mean, again, he fouled him, but is that a flagrant? I don't think so. I just don't think there's no head or neck area involved. He just grabbed his arm a little bit. I think that should be a common foul, especially because we are in the finals. And if you're going to have a technical foul in the finals, it's got to be something fairly malicious, something with obvious intent. I don't think Jokic is trying to do anything to Bam at all. I think he's just trying to prevent him from getting an easy bucket. Again, you could say that's a take foul, which I know in 2023 in the NBA, they call that a lot. They're still reviewing it. It's going to be interesting to see what they call, but I don't think that is a flagrant foul. Jackson says, I just hope ESPN quits disrespecting Nikola Jokic. The disrespect for Jokic has got to stop. I mean, Jokic is one of the best players in the NBA. Jokic could be the best player in the NBA. He's definitely the most all-around offensive player in the NBA. The defense, a little bit of a weakness, and the fact that there are potentially other areas of his game that maybe he's not like the most explosive athlete of all time, where you look at some of these other players and they have the highlight dunks and stuff. Jokic doesn't have those kind of qualities, but all around offensive player, he has the passing. He's got the scoring, the rebounding. He does so much well. He's one of the best players in the NBA regardless. He's one of the best, whether people think he is the best or top 5 or even top 10. He's got, I think, be top 5. He's that good. But still, Jokic is a fantastic player that definitely deserves more respect. I agree with you, Jackson, for sure. Jeff says to Jackson, I agree. That's why we listen to Jerry. Thank you, Jeff, for the compliment. Really appreciate it. Definitely giving respect to Nikola Jokic around here for what he does in the NBA, for sure. No disrespect of Jokic at Only Talk Sports. Appreciate you guys for being here. Jackson agreed. Jeff Jeffrey's the best in the business. Thank you, Jackson, as well. Really appreciate you guys for both being here. Got a great game and definitely maybe a little bit of a damper on the move. They just called the flagrant foul on Nikola Jokic. Don't think that was a flagrant foul, but it is what it is. You just don't want things to escalate and you don't want anybody to get hurt. Totally understand the referees there. But Miami's called a couple of breaks. They just got that flagrant foul on Jokic, which is giving 2 free throws to Bam, which he hits the first. And then they also got lucky that the refs did not see Jimmy Butler with his foot on the out-of-bounds line on that pass to Gabe Vincent where he hit the 3. So Miami has gotten a couple of breaks. We'll have to see if it pays off for them. Bam, he knocks down both free throws. So we've got a tie game again, 64-64. Again, Miami's doing a great job of hanging around this game after falling behind by a decent amount, but they have not given up, and now they're right back in the game, and it is tied. Butler in the lane with a chance to take the lead. He misses the shot. Good defense by Gordon. He has been great with his interior defense. Has several plays where Miami's gone to the rim, and Denver has done a great job of guarding. And then Jamal Murray on the other end with a mid-range floater. It's pure. 66-64. Denver back in front after all of that. 8:40 to go in the third. Vincent driving in the lane with an up and under. His shot is short, and Pope and Jokic fighting for the board, and finally Pope gives it to Jokic. Got to let the big guy get the board. Murray with a spin move. In the lane, kicks down low to Gordon, and the ball is out of bounds, and I think, they're going to call a foul instead. I think that they call a foul on the Heat. I don't know if it's going to be on a shot or not. But if it is, I think it will be some free throws for Gordon. That's close. Gordon goes up strong. Yeah, that's a foul. Vincent got him on the arm. from far away, like he might have got all ball. And then it like Strus fouled him from behind. So both players fouled him. Gordon, probably one of the worst free throw shooters for the Nuggets at the line, but he is capable of knocking him down, but it is not his strong point. And his first free throw is off the mark. You got to make your free throws. This is the NBA Finals. These are big games. Every game is important. You got to make your free throws count because sometimes those points can come back to bite you. You look at the Raptors again against the Bulls in the playing game. They missed a lot of free throws and they lost. And Gordon misses them both. Both free throws went off the rim. Miami has the ball again, 66-64. 8:20 to go in the third. Bam at the top of the key. Over to Strus, back to Bam, to the rim, taking contact. Bam lays it in. That's a good play. Good pass by Strus as well. But Bam with the wherewithal and the power to take that contact and lay it in. That's a really good play. And we are tied again at 66 all. What a game. 12.6 boards for Bam. He's doing a fairly solid job in this game. Jokic, looks like there might be a kick ball by the Miami Heat. But Bam, that's a good play. Gordon, I don't think he fouled him. I don't think Gordon fouled him. He went straight up. That's a good play by Bam Adebayo. But Denver with the ball. Jokic to Porter Jr. Back to Jokic on the outside. And Jokic misses the three. But they call a foul on Bam Adebayo. And he's losing it. But I think that's a foul. He got him on the arm. I don't think there is any argument on that play. I think that is a clear foul. Jokic gets the pass for Porter Jr. I don't know. I think it's a foul. I think he was definitely in his space. I mean, you can say he didn't get him on the arm, but I think that he got him with the body down low. I mean, regardless, I think he was too close. So I think it's a foul. Let's see again. Bam goes up strong. Looks like he got him with the body down low. I think it's just a little bit. I mean, it's not too much, but I do think it's a foul. Plus, you look at Butler's foot out of bounds. That's a three-point shot for Vincent. This just makes up for Denver, especially if Jokic knocks down all three of these free throws, which he's a really solid free throw shooter. That will definitely make up for Gordon's missed two free throws as well. And Jokic, he knocks them all down. 69-66. All of them were nothing but net. That shows you the confidence and the ability of Jokic to knock down those free throws. 3-point lead for the Nuggets. 21 points, 6 boards, 3 assists for Jokic. He's 8 of 16 from the field. He's having a really solid all-around game. And on the other end, Gabe Vincent shoots a three, but it's not going to count because Strus is on the deck. Strus is holding his face. I don't know if he got hit on that play. I don't know if there's a foul and they're going to review it. But Strus is down. Hopefully he's okay. Let's see what happened. Gordon runs into Strus, and then Max Strus falls to the floor. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a foul. I think that is a foul on Gordon, but I think Strus is going to be okay. I don't think there's anything malicious there, but that is a lot of contact. Aaron Gordon just blows up that play. But Miami has the ball, so they call a foul on Denver on Aaron Gordon. Strus is okay. Did not think there was anything wrong there. Kevin Love for three. His shot's off the mark. Ball's out of bounds off of Jokic, and he's losing it. He's saying it's off of Bam Adebayo. Jokic is arguing for it, but he's not going to get the call, I don't think. Both teams are starting to collapse with the refs. Both teams' players are getting frustrated at every single call. I mean, it's the finals. I mean, everything's on the line. Can't blame them, but still, some of these are kind of comical because some of the fouls or plays are correct, and they're arguing it anyway. Strus misses the three, so he can't keep up his hot shooting from the first half. Caldwell Pope down the floor. 7:10 to go in the third quarter. It's over to Jamal Murray. He's been quiet since the first half. It's over to Jokic. And Jokic gets the ball poked away by Kevin Love. He's looking for a foul, not going to get it. And then the ball's out of bounds off of KCP. Denver's saying it's off of Jimmy Butler, but they're going to say it's off of Denver, so it will remain with the Heat. But there is a lot going on right now. A lot of questionable calls. Ooh, that is so close. Yeah, it touched KCP at the end. It did, but it was so close. Butler and KCP touched it like 3 times back-to-back. That was so close. Surprised that the referees were able to catch that. They did a good job there. Bam in the mid-range. His shot's off the mark, and Porter Jr. skies for the rebound, showing that effort, wanting to win. 6:40 to go in the third quarter. Michael Porter Jr. at the top of the key over to Jamal Murray. Still a three-point game. Both teams' offenses are kind of disappearing a little bit. Murray over to Caldwell Pope. Over to Porter Jr. for three. His shot is off the mark. And the ball is out of bounds, and Jokic is losing it again. Jokic is looking for the ball being off of the Heat, but they're going to give it back to Miami. I wish there was some replays on a few of these. It's really close. Max Strus over to Bam at the top of the key. Still a three-point game. Denver's 11-13 at the line. Miami is 7 of 8. So at least for Miami, they've been to the line more than they were in game one when they were only 2 of 2. Miami does miss a three. So Denver has the ball with a chance to extend it to a 2-possession lead. Jokic trying to drive in the corner to Porter Jr. He's trying to shake Kevin Love. He cannot. Somehow that ball went through his leg without turning it over. I have no idea how he did that. Jokic inside. Kicks to Porter Jr. What a shot. Jr., but what an even better pass from Jokic. Looked like he had nowhere to go on that play, and somehow he got that ball to Porter Jr. And Porter Jr.'s shot flushes in. 71-66. 5:35 to go in the third. Jimmy Butler cannot respond with that mid-range jumper. Denver up by 5. Again, both teams' offenses have stalled a bit. But Miami needs points to stay in this game. You can't fall behind by too much. Jokic in the corner to Porter Jr. 5:23 to go in the third. And Jokic down low. The ball is out of bounds. And they're going to call it off of Denver again. And Jokic is still arguing the call. Jokic has gone off on the referees like 3 or 4 times in a row for all of these balls being off of Denver. He felt that the ball was off Miami. They're showing a replay this time. Let's see. The ball is off of, I can't even tell. It's so close. That is so close. Again, I mean, I really can't blame the ref there. I don't really see how you can tell. But I mean, Jokic, I don't blame him for being frustrated because the last 4 of these calls have gone the way of the Miami Heat. So I can definitely understand his frustration, but you got to keep your cool. You can't get a technical foul. Don't think that he has yet, but he is really starting to get frustrated for sure. Jeff says, I agree on Jackson. Again, really appreciate both of your guys' compliments. Jackson says, boom, three-pointer for Jokic. I agree with you, Jackson. I mean, you got to look at the fact that Jokic is, again, a complete, true 3-level player. If he wasn't a three-point shooter at the rate that he is, I mean, he'd still be great. But it makes his offensive game so much more of a threat because he can shoot the three. He can go off the dribble and drive all the way to the rim. He can hit ridiculous shots over the outstretched arm of a defender. I mean, sometimes he misses the easy shot because it's easy. It's like he's prepared. He was tailor-made for the difficult shots. He's just a great player. He is a fantastic player. But definitely, this game's getting a little bit wacky, though, between Denver and Miami. It's a 5-point game, but there's been a lot of questionable calls. And the last 4 out-of-bounds calls have gone the way of the Heat, and Jokic is getting furious. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see if these calls continue to keep going the way that they are. If they keep going Miami Heat's way on these out-of-bounds calls, Jokic might get a tech. I mean, he is upset. Again, can't blame him. I mean, these games are so important. I mean, these are the biggest games of these guys' lives. I mean, it's the NBA Finals with a chance to win a ring. So you definitely want it to be called the exact right way. But some of these calls, I mean, the referees, it's really hard to tell. The ball is so close. Either way, that it's hard to tell whether it's off of Miami or Denver or not. It is so close. But I think the reason why it is showing you the effort of both teams, because a lot of times you can tell who the ball's off of because one team's playing harder than the other team. That's why a lot of teams win. Most of these NBA teams are talented enough to win a game. Not all of these teams. Some of them at the bottom aren't. But most of the really good teams in the NBA can't win a game if you just play harder than the other team. Sometimes the shots aren't falling, and that's why you lose. But if you play with effort and intensity, it's going to give you a chance to win games. And if you look at, the Nuggets and the Heat in this game, it's a close game despite the fact that there have been struggles at times from both teams shooting the ball. But both teams are giving the effort. Every single ball that's going out of bounds is challenged. Both teams are going for the ball. That's what you want to see against the finals. You got to play hard. But both teams are going for the ball, and that's why it's so hard to tell who the ball's off of, because it's a bang-bang play. It's so close. 1 minute you can say on the review it looks like it's off of Denver. Next second it's like, I don't know. It might have been off of the Heat. So the referees are just going with their gut. It's just unfortunately for Jokic, it's been off of Denver the last 4 times they've called it. So he is really getting frustrated for sure. It is crazy. Jackson Boone three-pointer by number 2 for the Heat. Yeah, that was a big 3 by Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent, he can shoot the ball. He is shown to be a really capable three-point shooter and a guy capable of leading a team. I mean, he's got the speed as well. That's why Kyle Lowry's coming off the bench. He's a veteran guy, and Eric Spoelstra feels like Gabe Vincent right now with his youth and just going out to play at a high level, even though he's an undrafted guy out of UC Santa Barbara. He's giving more to the Heat offense than Lowry. It's really interesting, so that's why Spoelstra's going with him. Down low, Jokic. Down low, they're showing some replays of him. Look at some of his best plays of this game, hitting that turnaround mid-range shot, and then that 3, just looking at the plays that he has done in this game. It's just fantastic to watch. And Denver has a 5-point lead because of his efforts and some of his team. With the game starting back up, Kevin Love down low to Jimmy Butler, being guarded by Caldwell Pope. Butler inside for 2. His shot is off the mark. Tap back by Love, and I think they're going to get a foul on the Denver Nuggets. That's a bailout foul because it looked like potentially Denver was going to be getting the ball back and racing back down the floor. But again, Nikola Jokic showing some of his biggest plays, and they're talking about that this game's being broadcast all around the world where everybody can see it for sure, and Jokic is putting on a show with a fantastic performance and display of plays in this game. But Jimmy Butler not wanting to be outshined. He gets fouled on the other end, and he's at the line. He hits the first. They're showing Jokic again, 2-time NBA MVP, runner-up this year. Could have won it again, but they gave it to Embiid. He led the NBA in scoring. Don't blame him for giving it to him. But again, Jokic was fantastic. But Jimmy Butler hits both free throws, so it's a 3-point game again. 71-68. Nuggets lead by 3. Jamal Murray to Bruce Brown. There's a turnover, a mistake by the Nuggets. They have not turned the ball over much in this game. Denver is usually a team that's really clean on not making mistakes, but they had a mistake there. Miami, though, with a turnover of their own. Bruce Brown misses the shot. Somehow Gordon saves it to Jokic. Jokic trying to draw on Vincent. Could have been an offensive no call, but then Jokic scores. What a play. I don't know how Aaron Gordon saved that ball from going out of bounds. That was an incredible effort. Somehow his back was off the ground and it wasn't out of bounds. That was a sick play. Now you got the Heat with the ball again. Butler down the lane. Butler to Bam. What a pass. And Bam for 2. Jimmy Butler, I don't know how he got that pass to Bam. That was a great play. 73-70. Bam with 14 points and 6 boards. 3-point game. 4 to go in the third quarter. Jamal Murray with the basketball, trying to make a move in the lane, kicks it to the outside. Bruce Brown for 3. His shot's off the mark. He had a great look, just could not get it to fall. Strus passes it back to Gabe Vincent. He gets the ball across half court with 1 second to spare. 3:40 to go in the third. Bam Adebayo being guarded by Jokic. Bam had a really great game 1. He's not had as good of a game tonight, but still playing fairly solid. Maybe if he can get some more offensive buckets against Jokic with him on defense, maybe the Heat can steal a win here. But Miami misses on this possession, going back the other way. Jokic being guarded by Bam. Murray back to Jokic down low. Jokic misses a shot. He tries to get an offensive rebound. He can't get it to fall, and now I think there might be a foul on the Heat. I can't tell which team there's a foul. Both players collide. I think KCP and Max Strus both collide into each other. Now substitutions are coming in. Christian Brown's coming to the game for the Nuggets. Caleb Martin's coming to the game for the Heat. And players are getting well-deserved rests. After all their hard work, you got to take a break and put some of your bench guys in to give yourself a breather. I mean, for sure, a lot of effort being displayed. What a game. 73-70. Denver up by 3. 3:10 to go in the third. Bruce Brown to Jokic. Cody Zeller is guarding Jokic. Jokic down low to Bruce Brown, and there is a foul on Max Strus. Bruce Brown somehow got that shot attempt up in the air. He was way down below the rim, and he goes up with it. It's a smart play. I mean, he knows he's got Strus on his back. So all you got to do is go up strong, show that you're shooting the ball, and you're going to get a foul every single time. Max Strus should have backed off just a little bit. I know he did not want to give Bruce Brown a layup, but you had him corner under the rim. Just show your hands. Don't get a body into him. And you might have got away with no foul call. But he wasn't able to do it. So Bruce Brown hits the first free throw, and he knocks down the second free throw as well. So it's 75-70. It's been around a 3 to 5 point game for the last few minutes. Both teams are just trading buckets. That's not too big of a deal for the Heat as long as they are within striking distance. They still have time to get back in the game. They're still playing at a high level, so we'll have to see what they do in the fourth quarter. But Miami down by 5 right now. Max Strus with the ball. Over to Butler in the lane. Jimmy Butler's corner kicks to Cody Zeller, and somehow Cody Zeller scores over Jokic. That was a great play by Cody Zeller. I have no idea how he got that shot over Jokic. Now with 2:40 to go in the third, Jokic to Bruce Brown. Cody Zeller trying to guard Jokic in the paint. Jokic is backing down on Zeller, taking his time. 5 seconds on the shot clock, turns shoulder, and Jokic gets the friendly basket. Hit the rim, hit the backboard, and falls. 77-72. 5-point game again. Back and forth game in this third quarter. 2:10 to go. You got Kyle Lowry. He's back into the game for the Heat. Let's see if he can make an impact. He shoots a 3, and he does make an impact. Right off the bench, 77-75, 2-point game. This is the closest Miami's had in a while. But again, still trading baskets nonetheless. It's been a great third quarter. Both teams playing well. Lowry's got 6 points. He's 2 of 2 from 3. And a turnover. Denver with a turnover. Martin to Strus, back to Caleb Martin. And he kicks to Strus in the corner, and good recovery on defense from Denver. They didn't allow him to get a quick transition bucket. Lowry trying to make a move past Jokic in the mid-range, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Lowry, and he's got a smile on his face. He's like, how did I get an offensive foul on Jokic? Spoelstra smiling as well. You've got a 6-foot point guard with a push-off on a 6'11", 250-pound guy. I don't know if that's funny. That is hilarious with Lowry smile and Spoelstra smile. That was not much, but Jokic, he gets the friendly call right there. In the lane on Cody Zeller, and he gets another score to fall. What a basket by Jokic. He's getting all of the friendly rolls right now. He has such a soft touch around the rim. That's why a lot of his shots that don't initially look like they're going to go and do, because he just lofts it up. Well, he's driving on Zeller, just throws it up, just lofts it in the air, hits the rim, and it falls. Jokic just has such great awareness as a player, knows how much force to put on the ball. Fantastic player. 80-75 after he hits the free throw. Wasn't a pretty one, but it fell anyway, nonetheless. Jokic with 28 points, 15 in the third quarter. He's come to life in the third quarter. He's been great. Lowry inside the Butler, and Butler loses the ball out of bounds, but they're going to say it is off of Denver. Miami and Denver have been trading baskets this whole third quarter. It's been a great third quarter for sure for viewers. Definitely a lot of action. It's been great. Zeller down low. He loses the ball. He got caught too far in the paint, and the Nuggets make him pay. Jokic down the floor, and Jokic all the way to the rim. He took the ball off the floor all by himself and scored. What a play. And Mile High Arena is back on their feet big time because the Nuggets had their largest lead in a while. They're up by 7, 82-75. Jimmy Butler just threw the ball up, and he loses it, but Zeller gets it, and now he loses it. Jokic takes it from Zeller, and they call a foul on Cody Zeller. 82-75. And I think Jokic will be shooting some free throws because of the fact that I think the Heat are in the bonus. But that play right there is the epitome of Nikola Jokic and what he provides as a player. He gets the ball, leads the fast break, and scores all on his own. No passing to anybody else. He's got it. He's taking care of it. Just let me go down the middle of the lane, get to the rim, and do what I do best, and that is score the basketball. He is a great passer, but I still feel like Jokic is an elite scorer as well. He's got 30. Only 3 assists in this game. He's got 30 points. Usually has more assists, but in this game, Jokic is feeling it. Just let the guy score. He is playing that well. down the lane, Jokic all the way to the rim. That is a great play. That might be SportsCenter top 10 as well. I'm not sure if that will make the cut or not, but that was a great play. And he hits the first free throw, and the second one is missed. So it's still an 8-point game. Jokic could not get it to a 9-point game. His second free throw just rimmed in and out. About one of the only shots he's missed in this third quarter. 83-75, 8-point game. Miami's starting to fall a little bit behind again. They need a couple of buckets. Jimmy Butler to Caleb Martin. 30 seconds left. Back to Butler. Christian Braun is guarding him. That's probably a matchup advantage for Butler. Butler settles for the three. His shot's a little long, and Jokic has the board. Shot clock is off. Denver potentially has the last shot of the quarter. 83-75. Jokic is trying to back down. Bam, instead kicks it back out to Caldwell Pope. Jokic with the ball again. 5 seconds left. Jokic driving now. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds. He goes up a little bit strong, and that is the end of the third quarter. Pretty good looking attempt for Jokic, but he was being double teamed. His shot was a little strong. He's heaving, but he's giving all the effort in the world to help the Nuggets get this win and go up 2-0 in the series. He had a fantastic third quarter. That might have been enough, you could say, to potentially get Denver over the top in this game if he gets some support from his teammates in the fourth. That's something that Denver's not had in a while, is baskets made by other guys. This probably needs to be when Jamal Murray takes over a little bit, makes some shots, maybe Caldwell Pope, because Jokic, he's done his job and more. He is doing it all. So we'll have to see what Denver's strategy is in the fourth quarter. Still let Jokic go to work, keep scoring, or if he's starting around a gas a little bit, pass the ball around, get it to Murray, try to get some of the other guys on the team. We'll have to see what they do. But still, it is incredible how well that Denver played, specifically Nikola Jokic in that third quarter. Miami, they did good in the third quarter as well. I'm not going to knock them for that third quarter performance. They were really solid. Yes, they were only down by 3 at the half. They've kind of fallen behind a little bit. Now down by 8. But it was back and forth most of the way. But Jokic just kept coming. And Miami missed a couple of shots. And unfortunately, in this game, the way that Denver is playing, especially when they get on a roll, a couple of missed shots is just enough for you to fall too far behind in a game again. So we'll have to see if Miami can respond. They did a really good job at the start of the fourth quarter in game 1. We'll have to see if they can do it again in game 2. Just this game is back and forth, might come down to the end. I hope it does. I hope it's a fantastic game all the way to the wire. I mean, those are the best games. When the game's already decided with, 5 to 10 minutes left in the game, still a lot of fun. It's the NBA and it's the finals. Got to take advantage and make the most of all the games we have left for sure. But when you got a close game like that classic between Boston and Miami in game 6 with Derek White's tap back and Jimmy Butler hitting those 3 free throws, they thought they had the game, and then White taps it back on. That was a great game. Obviously not every game is going to be of that caliber, but when you got a close game that goes down the wire and you don't really know who's going to win until like 10 to 30 seconds left, depending on how the game's going, something like that, maybe even just like the last minute of the game, that's always huge. When you already know who's going to win with several minutes left in the game, it definitely is still awesome, but just not, as interesting for a lot of people to watch for sure. Definitely awesome when it's really close to the end. And maybe we'll have that. Both teams playing hard. We'll have to see if Miami can keep it up and try to find a way to maybe steal one on the road, or if Denver's going to go up 2-0 and have a commanding lead in this series and potentially be able to put Miami away if they can steal one at their place. Jeff says, what a game. It's been a great game. And there were some crazy moments in that third quarter. A lot of questionable calls, balls going out of bounds that players were complaining about, specifically Jokic. He was getting furious with all the balls being called off of Denver. So it was crazy there. So definitely interesting how that third quarter went. But Jokic did not let the referees frustrate. He went out there and had 18 points in that third quarter. He was great. And I definitely agree with you, Jeff. What a game. You all say Joker is so fun to watch. For sure. I mean, what he does is so unconventional. That's what makes him fun to watch. Because he's a guy that does so many things that just most guys don't do or can't do. And that's what makes him so fun to watch. And he does everything at such a high level. And he's an unselfish player. Like today, in this game right here, is probably one of the games that you're going to see Jokic pass the ball the least, with how well he's shooting the ball and how his teammates are struggling a bit shooting the ball themselves. So that's why he's not passing to him as much. But Jokic is such an unselfish basketball player. He does whatever it takes for his team to win. And you can tell Jokic knows right now that they need his scoring, and that's why he is scoring the basketball and doing a great job of it. Start of the fourth quarter, Duncan Robinson in the game now for the Heat. Can he start making some shots? We'll have to see. Over to Gabe Vincent. 11:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Vincent driving into Kyle Lowry. Over to Duncan Robinson. Fakes Murray out, and he knocks down the three. What a fake. He got Murray in the air, and Duncan Robinson cans the three. That's a big shot for him. He's been really quiet in this game. That's a 5-point game now, 83-78. Miami's done a really good job at the start of the four quarters in both of these games so far. Cut down the lead. Jeff Green, though, on the other end, drawing contact, and he's going on the line. Kyle upset, did not think that he fouled, but they're going to get Lowry regardless, and Jeff Green will have a couple of free throws, and he's a pretty solid free throw shooter. He could put Denver back up by 3 scores if he hits both free throws. Jeff Green's first free throw is good. So it's 84-78 after Jeff Green knocks down the first free throw. It's a 6-point game. Miami's just hovering around being, relatively safe in this game. Not down by too much. Still have a great shot to come back and win. But if they're going to make their move, they're going to have to make it soon. They can't keep being down by around 5 to 7 points this game. They're going to have to make a move. Try to tie the game, maybe take a lead. We'll have to see if they can't or if Denver will keep him at bay. Jeff Green doing a good job of that because he knocks down the second free throw as well. 3-possession game, 85-78. 11-10 to go in the fourth. Bam Adebayo at the top of the key to Kyle Lowry. Over in the corner to Gabe Vincent. They've got both point guards on the floor. Gabe Vincent tried to get it to Bam, but I think they're going to call either a foul or a kick ball. 11:05 to go in the fourth. I think they call a foul. Might have been down low. Maybe it was on Christian Braun for trying to guard Bam. That was a mismatch, so I think they're going to get him for a foul, maybe with a little bit of a push there, trying to keep him out of the paint. Gabe Vincent to Bam. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Vincent trying to get a ball screen. He does not. Robinson, though, into the lane. That's a good pass by Vincent to Duncan Robinson. And Duncan Robinson with the layup. Again, Robinson has the moves. He can drive the basketball at a fairly high rate. That's a good play. And when you make a three, when Duncan Robinson makes that three like he did, he got Murray off the dribble. That's a really smart play by Duncan Robinson. Him at the line, he's a good free throw shooter, but he misses the free throw. But they get another foul, I think, on Denver. I think they called that one on Jeff Green. So that means Miami is keeping the ball, and they just got another foul in Denver. So that could potentially get Denver in the bonus quicker in this fourth quarter. That's crazy. Momentum's kind of swinging just a bit back the Heat way. Bam. Over to Duncan Robinson at the top of the key. 7 seconds on the shot clock. He pulls from deep, and Duncan Robinson knocks down the three. And that's the type player that Duncan Robinson is. He's a guy that can just come off the bench and be a spark plug, energy guy, knocking down some threes, getting to the rim. That's a big shot, and that's a shot he probably would not have made if he did not have that first three go down. And then that other drive he just had to the rim. That's the type player he is. He's streaky, but when he starts making shots, it gives Miami a really good chance to win. And just like that, you've got a timeout from Michael Malone. And Mile High Arena is not as confident as it was a minute ago. The fans are starting to get a little anxious because Miami is rolling again. Justice Joker's 18 in the third was amazing. I agree with you, Jeff. You're 100% correct. I mean, Jokic was fantastic in the third quarter. And that's why Denver has the lead that they have, because he played so well. Because really, this has actually been one of the rare games where Denver has not gotten a lot of production out of some of their role players. I mean, they've had their moments. Like Bruce Brown, he had a couple of good plays, but like KCP, Bruce Brown, they're not playing like they were in the Lakers series or, the Suns series. Those players were doing a great job in the previous series. Against the Heat, they've kind of been all right, but they haven't been playing with the level of intensity they were before and the high level of accuracy shooting the basketball. If they can get back to that level, even in this quarter, I think that would allow potentially the leeway for Denver maybe to give Jokic a break. I think right now Jokic just needs a break. He's been doing it all. I mean, he's scoring, he's rebounding. He doesn't have a lot of assists, but, I mean, he has been trying to pass, but some of his teammates have missed some shots. But still, he needs a little bit of help. I don't think Jokic's 30, 32 points is going to be he can keep scoring once he returns back into the game, but I think he's going to need a little bit of help. And if you're Miami, you definitely got to be happy with Duncan Robinson coming to the game, hitting those shots, because now Miami's back within the striking distance where this could be Jimmy Butler time. Whenever Miami's close to the game in the fourth, Jimmy Butler usually erupts and starts going off. So we'll have to see what happens. It's going to be really interesting. We got 10:48 to go in the fourth quarter in Game 2 of the 2023 NBA Finals. Denver leads 85-83. But Miami, every time that Denver keeps trying to pull away, Miami keeps coming back. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Ron Nagato, thanks for stopping by. Says, you're an awesome commentator. I wish there was a way to get more exposure for you. I really appreciate that, Ron Nagato. The compliment means a lot. I really do appreciate it. But thank you for being here. And all you guys that stop by every single night, watching these games with me, definitely for sure. That's a lot of exposure, and I really appreciate it. And definitely, really appreciate new viewers, old viewers, definitely. All you guys are the best, but I really appreciate that, Ryan. But we've got a great 10:48 potentially left in this game, as long as Miami doesn't collapse, or Denver. As long as both teams keep playing with the same level of intensity that we have seen in the first 38 minutes of this game, then there should be a great finish. It should be all the way to the end, a wire-to-wire game, a really close game. But you really do feel like Miami, they need this game. They can lose and still win this series potentially. But you need to win a game on the road, because if Miami does not, they can win all 3 home games, still lose the series. They got to win a road game. And they've got Denver potentially on their heels a bit, only down by 2. Denver's crowd a lot quieter than they were a few minutes ago. Everybody is watching this game with awe and anticipation. So we'll have to see once the game resumes which team comes out with better intensity. But you would think that Denver's going to really try to get the momentum back, because Michael Maloney just called a timeout, and Denver usually does a good job outside of timeouts, but so does Miami. So it's hard to tell which team will have the advantage there. Duncan Robinson, he scored the last 8 for the Heat. He's been huge, and he stays in the game. Wise move by Spoelstra. Murray down low to Jeff Green. Back to Jamal Murray for 3. That's a terrible shot by Murray. And Christian Braun knocks the ball, though, off of Kyle Lowry. That is fantastic by Christian Braun. The small things, the little plays like that are what win you championships. What a play by Christian Braun, knocking it off of Lowry, and that keeps the ball with the Denver Nuggets after a horrible possession that Murray just had. And now I think there might be a turnover. I have no idea what just happened right there. It's 85-83, 10:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Murray was supposed to be inbound. I think there was like 1 second left on the shot clock, but I don't know. Maybe it was a shot clock violation or what. I have no idea. Or maybe Murray's foot was across the line. But regardless, Miami has the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead. Bam Adebayo being guarded by Jokic. Kicks in the corner to Gabe Vincent. And Gabe Vincent puts Miami back in front. 86-85. You can't leave Vincent. He can knock down threes at a high rate once he gets rolling. Big shot and a turnover for the Nuggets. Could this be Denver's collapse right here? Miami's got a shot. Miami's got a shot. If they keep up this level of play, they can win. Denver is kind of starting to struggle a bit. Will Jokic take over some more, or will Jamal Murray finally get going, or will Caldwell Pope, Bruce Brown for Denver get going? They're going to need, somebody's got to start making some shots, because Miami is gaining some confidence possession after possession. 9:45 to go in the fourth. Duncan Robinson gets a pass from Bam, and he lays it in again. Look at the confidence by Duncan Robinson. 88-85. He scored 10 points in the last couple of minutes for Miami, and that's put the Heat back in front. And now they have a 3-point lead. This is incredible. The Denver Nuggets. There's been several times in this game where the Denver Nuggets look like they were potentially going to run away with this game. They had a big lead, and they were in great shape. But Miami, every single time it looks like they're out. You can't count the Heat out. They always come roaring back. And the thing that's making it so much more ironic is that a lot of it hasn't even been Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler could still get going potentially in the last 9:43 of this game, which if he does, that might be just enough to get Miami over the top. But he's getting the contributions required from his teammates. The only one of the undrafted 4 that really hasn't gotten going in this game for Miami is Caleb Martin. And that might be due to him being potentially still a little bit ill. He was out with an illness for the Heat, and he missed a practice. But Duncan Robinson, he was cold. And now he's hit back-to-back threes. He's hit a couple of twos. He's getting involved now on the offensive end. Max Strus was hot early. He's cooled off, but you still got those contributions from him. Gabe Vincent just looks like a very calm and collected point guard. He's on the floor, and he makes good plays. He knows when to pass. He knows when to shoot. Gabe Vincent is really solid. I mean, that's why he's replaced Kyle Lowry in the starting lineup. Kyle Lowry's still a solid player. But Erik Spoelstra, again, feels like Gabe Vincent provides more for the Miami Heat with what he does, and that's why he's in the starting lineup. It's crazy for sure. It is very crazy how Miami's responded. But Denver, you can't ever count out Denver either because they've got the talent, and Denver's had moments. Like you saw, they were down by 11 in the first quarter. Even in this game, they've had moments where they were struggling a bit, and then they go on a big run of their own. Michael Malone, he called a timeout. We'll have to see if he can get his team organized, get him back going out there playing at a good rate. We'll have to see. But Miami was up by 11 in the first quarter, and then you saw Denver have the response of a lifetime. They went up by 15 after that. So Denver could respond and go up big again. We'll have to see. But this has been a great game, and regardless of who wins, it's definitely going to be interesting for sure. If Miami can still win on the road, it would increase their chances of winning this series. But if Denver wins, it doesn't count Miami out. But still, regardless, if it's a close game, it has been a fantastic game. And really appreciate all you guys for being here. Jeff says he is everywhere. Joker, that is for sure. I mean, he's all over the place. I mean, again, he does so much for Denver. I mean, I don't even know, like, you talk about what Jackson said earlier about, you know, Jokic not getting the respect he deserves. I don't even know if he gets the respect from Denver fans. I think they do. A lot of them do. But, like, some people, I just feel like Jokic is so good that a lot of people just don't realize how good he is. They just take a lot of what he does for granted. I think it's because of the fact more bigs are doing what he's doing now. Like Giannis, Antetokounmpo, or Joel Embiid. Those guys can handle the ball too and drive in. But what Jokic does as an all-around player, passing, rebounding, and shooting, it's incredible. I don't really think a lot of Denver fans take him for granted. I just think that some forget how good he is. Just watch him. It's like you almost get used to watching. Like I've said all the time that he makes a shot look easy. So it's like, oh, that's an easy shot. It's not. It's ridiculous what he's doing. It's just incredible. But for sure, definitely everybody that's watching Jokic is very lucky to watch such a fantastic basketball player because he is an elite player, very fun to watch. But they're in a hole right now. They're down by 3, and Jokic needs a response, but they're going to call an offensive foul on him. There might be an error by Jokic, a rare error. They're going to call an offensive foul for knocking over Vincent. Was it an offensive foul? I don't know. He got a little bit of elbow, so it's really close. I mean, it's close call, but I do think that you can make an argument that it was an offensive foul. That is close, though. 9:20 to go in the fourth quarter. And then there's another foul on Jokic. They call that one for getting Bam Adebayo a little bit in the face. Bam, he sold the contact, though. Let's see how bad it was. Oh, yeah, he did. That was a mistake. Jokic with back-to-back fouls. Those are 2 errors right there. Again, nobody's perfect. Gabe Vincent inbounds the ball to Bam, to Vincent, and then there's another foul on the Denver Nuggets. They call that one on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and I think the Nuggets are already in the bonus. 9:17 to go in the fourth quarter. We're only 3 minutes in to the fourth quarter, and the Nuggets are already in the bonus. How do you already get in the bonus less than 3 minutes into a quarter? They've just picked up cheap foul after cheap foul. And you've got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope coming off that screen. It's like you don't have to do that. Gabe Vincent more than likely won't make that shot, and then you foul him. It's just not a smart foul by KCP. But there you go. Another mistake, and you've got Miami at the line. And Gabe Vincent knocks down the first free throw. It's 89-85 with another one here. 90-85. He knocks them both down. 5-point lead for Miami. Denver's going to have to settle it down because if they continue to struggle a little bit, Miami can win this game. It's going to be really interesting. 12-0 run by the Heat in the last 2 minutes. That shows you how quickly Miami has scored. Jokic down low, and they call a foul on Miami. Not on the shot, so it's on the floor. And Miami's not in the bonus yet because they have not fouled as many times as Denver has fouled. 9:09 to go in the fourth. The last minute has moved very slowly with all of these fouls. We were at like 9:30 4 or 5 minutes ago. Now we're at 9:09. So we'll have to see. Caldwell Pope with the basketball for the Denver Nuggets, trying to drive, kicks to Jokic, behind the back dribble to the rim, and there's a foul on Bam Adebayo. So another foul on the Heat. So now Miami's starting to draw some fouls. The referees have definitely started to tighten up on the foul calls, trying to make sure that they get every infraction here. Let's see if it was. I mean, I think it is. Both teams are fouling, to be fair. A lot of times you can say there's a lot of cheap fouls. It shouldn't be called, but a lot of these have been fouls. And Jokic knocks down the first. So it's 90-86. 4-point game. With another free throw, he can get it back to a one-possession game. But the Heat have dominated the last 4 to 5 minutes of game action. But Denver can get it right back in a hurry. Will they? We'll have to see. Jokic hits them both. So it's 90-87. He's got 30-plus points. He's playing great basketball, but he needs some help from his teammates. 3-point game. Heat have been great last few minutes. Bam. To Kyle Lowry, who's still in the game with his veteran presence off the bench. Lowry to Bam, and Bam hits in the mid-range. Big shot for Bam. He's been quiet for a while. That's a big shot. 92-87. 5-point game, Heat in front. 8:30 to go in the fourth. Denver, what do they have? Can they win? Bruce Brown in the lane. He's off the mark. Bam tips it to Duncan Robinson. The Heat could win if they keep this up for 8 and change more. Vents it over to Bam. To Duncan Robinson, driving into the lane. Kicks to Caleb Martin. To Gabe Vincent for 3, and that shot would have been huge. That would have put Miami up by 8. But his shot was just a little bit off the mark. Jokic going down the floor, trying to settle it down, and there's another foul called. Down low, Aaron Gordon and Duncan Robinson getting tangled up, and they call that foul right there on Duncan Robinson. A lot of these fouls have been so unnecessary, too. That's the thing. It's hilarious because of the fact you want to foul when it matters. Not on a play like that where the ball isn't even nowhere near you. You don't have to foul, and you get tangled up, and you get a cheap foul for no reason. Definitely both teams. You got to give credit for the effort, though. They're not trying to let either team get easy buckets, so they're all over. All these players are all over the defender that they're guarding. They're all over. So they're trying to prevent easy buckets. But it is also causing an issue with fouls. So Miami's going to be in the bonus soon as well. Denver probably going to do everything they can to get them there. Jokic to Porter Jr. His 3 is off the mark. Caleb Martin has the rebound. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Kyle Lowry bringing it up to Bam. Top of the key. Bam kicks to Jimmy Butler being guarded by Jamal Murray. Both players have been quiet for the last few minutes. Jimmy Butler with a costly mistake. KCP with the steal. Top of the key. Kicks to Jokic. That was a big turnover by Jimmy Butler. He just lost the handle there. Caldwell Pope being guarded by Bam. Kicks to Jokic inside. Jokic for 2. He scores again. Jokic is doing it all for the Nuggets. Scoring the basketball tonight. What a performance by him. And they're still down by 3. 7:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Lowry bringing it up. Heat with a 3-point lead. Kicks to Robinson. Back to Lowry. Adebayo at the top of the key. Jokic giving him space. Robinson trying to get a screen. He can't get off that screen. Kicks to Butler in the corner. And Jimmy Butler for 3. 95-89. Just when the Heat need a bucket, there's Jimmy Buckets knocking it down. 95-89. 6-point lead for the Heat. 6:40 to go in the fourth. What a game. Denver with the ball. Can they get any contribution from guys not named Jokic as of this time? Because it feels like Jokic is scoring everything for Denver. Murray in the lane, and there's Murray when you need him. 95-91. Big shot by Jamal Murray. Maybe that can get him going for the final 6:20 of this fourth quarter. 4-point lead for the Heat. 12 points, 4 boards, 6 assists for Murray. It's not the type game we've been used to seeing from him in these playoff games for Denver. We'll see if he can step up in the final 6 minutes. Butler off the dribble in the lane, and Butler for 2 and 1. 97-91, 6:06 to go in the fourth quarter. A mistake from Denver from fouling him. I know you're trying to defend him. That's a good play. by Jimmy Butler off the dribble, and they're going to get Gordon. Well, you can make an argument Butler kicked his leg out a bit. But they're going to get Gordon on the backside for that foul. That was a big shot by Butler, though, and he's come to life last couple minutes. And Butler's free throw is good. So it's 98-91, and the Heat are up by 7. The Heat have been on fire last few minutes. Butler with 19 points and 8 assists. He's doing a good job passing the ball. And they're up by 3 possessions. 5:50 to go in the fourth. Caldwell Pope to Jokic. To Murray. Inside to Jokic. And Jokic scores again. Good pass by Murray. But Jokic with the finish. 98-93. And Jokic is approaching points. He's getting close. 5:40 to go in the fourth. Yes, Jokic with 37 points and 10 boards. Bam. To Duncan Robinson. 5:30 to go in the fourth. 5-point lead for the Heat. Lowry pulls from deep, and he misses the three, but they call a foul on Denver. Unbelievable. Kyle Lowry from 31 feet out shoots a three. He's more likely not going to make the three, but Caldwell Pope gets the foul called against him. I agree. I don't think he gave him the landing space. Maybe you can say Lowry kicked his leg out, but I don't know. I think Caldwell Pope's got to do a little bit better of a job of not doing what he did there. You got to give the shooter space to land. And that's a costly mistake. That is a big mistake because that's 3 free throws for Kyle Lowry, a really solid free throw shooter. That is a big mistake. I could come back to haunt Denver right there, especially if he knocks all 3 of these down. He hits the first. 99-93. That was a big mistake by Caldwell Pope. I think he might have fouled twice on threes in this game. You can't do it. You just cannot foul on a 3. You got to let him have it. If you are not sure that you're not going to foul, you just got to stay in front, go straight up. If he hits it, he hits it. If he misses, he misses. You can't foul. It's a bang-bang play. You're trying to defend, but you just cannot foul if you can help it. And Lowry makes Denver pay. He knocks down all 3 free throws, 101-93. And this is the type game Miami likes, a lower scoring game. Their defense has been getting it done on every player not named Jokic. And Jokic with the rare mistake, he turns it over. He threw it away. He was looking for Porter Jr. He wasn't there where he thought he was going to be. And that is a mistake and a turnover for Denver. They've got 14 in this game. Miami's got 10. Denver with more mistakes than usual. Bam at the top of the key, trying to make a move. Kicks to Duncan Robinson, over to Lowry. Under 5 to go in the forecourt. We're getting to crunch time. Lowry off the dribble, kicks to Bam. Bam with the slam. What a dunk by Bam Adebayo. 103-93, 10-point lead, and Miami is looking increasingly likely they might win this game if they can keep this up. There's still time for Denver, but what a play. Miami with the confidence, and Porter Jr., that's clearly a foul. Fouled him right on the arm. That's a big dunk by Bam. Fantastic. 103-93. Jeff said, I think the Nuggets will respond. I agree with you, Jeff. I mean, they are a really good team, and they definitely still can. You wrote this a few minutes ago, and they did kind of respond, but Miami's responded back from that response. And Bam knocks down the free throw. Cool, calm, and collect. It's much easier to hit him when you're ahead. 104-93, 11-point lead for Miami. 4:40 to go in the fourth. Miami's 9 of 10 for the field in this quarter. Denver's 3 of 6. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. Miami's been hot in this fourth quarter. Murray in the lane. What a block by Bam Adebayo. No goaltend as well. What a block. Incredible. Kyle Lowry slowing things down. If you're Miami, you do not need to rush things. Slow it down. Try to get a good shot in late in the shot clock. Butler off the dribble. Kicks to Duncan Robinson. 5 seconds on the shot clock. To Bam. Back to Robinson. Back to Bam. 2 seconds. Out to Butler, and that's a turnover by the Heat. Too much passing there. They were trying to find the open guy, but that was just way too much passing. That's a great block by Bam. Was the ball still going up? Ooh, that's close. That could have been a goaltend. That could have been. It was close. Murray to Jokic, and Jokic again scores. He's got 39. Jokic doing everything in his power to keep Denver in this one. 104.95. We've got a timeout on the floor. 4:03 left in this fourth quarter, but the Heat are potentially 4 minutes away from stealing the necessary road win that they need if they're going to win this series, win this finals against the Nuggets. The Heat are doing a good job, but the Nuggets still have time, so it should be a great final 4 minutes and 3 seconds. We'll have to see what happens, but really appreciate all you guys for being here. None other than Nana, really do appreciate it for being here, for stopping by tonight. It is a very exciting game. I agree with you, Nana. There's been a lot of great moments in this game. A lot of big dunks, a lot of big shots. It has been incredible to watch for sure. And definitely what you want to see when you're looking at an NBA Finals. You want those memorable moments that you'll be remembered for years to come. This is a big game for both teams, but I think it's more important for Miami. They know they need this game. Denver, I feel like, can respond once at Miami. But if Miami falls down 2-0, it'll be extremely difficult for them to come back. But definitely they're doing everything they can to win. Denver, they're going to have to respond, though, at Miami, though. You can't, think that, even though you lost this game, you'll be okay and just cruise at Miami. You're going to have to play at a high level, especially if you do drop this game. And even if you win, you still got to play hard. You don't want Denver to fall into the Boston Celtics style play where Boston was inconsistent, and that's why Boston's not here, and the Heat are. Denver's going to have to be a consistent team. They're going to have to continue to play hard. They got all the way here because they were consistent, but we'll have to see if they can continue it in this NBA Finals. But Miami has outscored Denver 29-12 in the fourth quarter. That might be the difference with how well Miami has played in the fourth. Jimmy Butler at the top of the key. In the mid-range, he misses the shot, gets the offensive rebound. Caleb Martin has been quiet all game, but not any longer, because Caleb Martin joins the Heat party, knocking down the three. 107-95, 12-point lead for the Heat. Incredible what the Heat have done. Jokic down the floor. He loses the ball out of bounds, but they're going to give it back to Denver. They're going to say it's off of the Heat. But this is incredible what Miami's doing. This is incredible. They're playing so well. They're all knocking down shots on the road at Denver. That is so hard to do. And again, I don't even think Denver's lost a playoff game at home yet, if I can recall. This will be huge for the Heat to be the first team to do it in the finals. Jamal Murray, top of the key. Does the Nuggets have anything left in the tank? Murray over to Aaron Gordon, and Aaron Gordon for three. 107-98, 3 to go in the fourth. But if Denver's going to have a shot, that might be the start of the comeback. That was a huge shot by Gordon, a good pass by Murray, having faith in his teammate to knock down that three. That was a big shot by a guy that's not always the best three-point shooter, but he's gotten so much better. Bam, loses the ball off the backboard. I think that was a pass, but somehow the Heat get it back. Lowry for three. He misses. Gordon with the board. Here's Denver's opportunity. Jamal Murray bringing it down the floor, being guarded by Caleb Martin. Murray for three. Jamal Murray knocks down the three. 107-101, and Mile High Arena is back on their feet. 6-point game, and the Nuggets aren't done yet. Murray with 15 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 2 of 6 from three. That's a huge shot by Murray. He's a very clutch shooter. 2:10 to go in the fourth. Spoelstra not calling T.O. Butler with the mid-range bucket. What a shot by Butler. That's a veteran player right there. Superstar. He is that good. Jimmy Buckets knocking down the shot. 109-101. Jokic in the lane. To Jamal Murray. 1:55 to go in the fourth. Murray back to Jokic. Jokic driving on Bam. Jokic off the glass. He misses the shot. Bruce Brown gets it back in. Bruce Brown knocks down the two. 109-103. 1:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Still no timeout. Lowry bringing it up. Heat are up by 6, but they're by no means safe just yet. The Nuggets have given themselves a little bit of leeway, potentially still have a shot in this game. Butler with the ball to Duncan Robinson. Got to guard him. Robinson's three's off the mark, but Bam almost saves it, but he can't. It's out of bounds. It will be Denver Nuggets basketball. Jackson says, what a big 12-0 run by the Heat. I agree with you, Jackson. There's been a lot of great runs by both teams. Jackson says 33 points by Jokic tonight. He's been fantastic. He's played great. He's about around 40 points. He's been awesome all night long, and a big reason why Denver's even in the game. Jamal Murray, top of the key. Can he do anything for the Nuggets? potentially cut down this lead. Kicks to Caldwell Pope. And Caldwell Pope's three's off the mark, but Jokic with the offensive rebound to Jamal Murray for three. 109-106. 3-point game. What a shot by Jamal Murray. 11-2 run by the Nuggets, but what an even better offensive rebound and pass by Jokic to get it to Murray. Caldwell Pope had a good look, but the offensive rebound by Jokic might have saved the game if Denver still has a shot. 11-2 run by the Nuggets in the last 2:45. Butler top of the key, kicks to Bam. Down low, and Bam is fouled. 48 seconds left in this amazing game in this fourth quarter, and Bam will have a couple of free throws. But that was an unbelievable offensive rebound and pass by Jokic. In the corner, he kicks right to Murray, right where Murray was going on the floor. I mean, that was a perfect pass. Look at Jokic surveying. Double team, kicks to Murray right where he was shooting the basketball, and he drains the three. Great pass by Jokic, and an even better shot. That is an incredible play. Bam with 19 points, 9 boards. He has not had a bad game by no means, but he's got 2 big free throws, potentially put the Heat back up by 2 possessions, and he knocks down the first. Just as Jokic is playing fantastic, 100%. Jackson, he sure is. Jeff, he sure is. I mean, it's an incredible performance by him, but it might be in a losing effort. It might be in a losing effort. There's 48 seconds. Still time for Denver. Heat are not out of the woods. Bam's Adebayo at the line, taking his time, trying to survey the rim. He gets that ball up, and it's good. 111-106. We've got a 5-point game, no timeout for either team. Down the floor, Jamal Murray. Nuggets down by 5. Murray kicks to Jokic, who's been incredible all game. Jokic to the rim over Gabe Vincent, and he scores again. That's 40-plus for Jokic. 111-108, 35 seconds. That was an incredible shot by Jokic over Gabe Vincent. Maybe he got away with an offensive foul. Who knows? That was a great shot by Jokic. Puts him over 40 points. It'll be tough for him if he's in a losing effort, but still, Denver will not be any way in trouble in the series yet. Even if they lose, as long as they win a game at Miami, they'll be fine. Butler for 3. His shot's off the mark. Denver with the ball. They've got a chance. No timeout. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Jamal Murray at the top of the key. Miami pushes him back. Murray with a step back. 2 seconds left. His shot's barely off the mark. He almost had it, but it's short, and the Miami Heat survive. Jokic's 40-point game is not enough. That is so tough for Jokic. He played so well, but he just did not get enough production from his teammates. Murray came on late, but he could not hit the game-tying 3. Just a little bit short. But what a win for the Miami Heat. What a win. 111-108. And the series is now tied 1-1. Incredible. The Miami Heat, they're saying we're not out of the series by no means, any way, shape, or form. We are still good to go. We can still win this NBA Finals. We might even have Tyler Hero back soon. We'll have to see with that. But what a win for Miami. Jeff said the Heat are in good shape. 100%. Definitely now that they got the win. Jeff said, what a game. Amazing. I agree. Incredible. Just incredible. Awesome game. Jackson, what a big one for the Heat tonight. Jackson, I have a feeling I'm going to love the 2023 NBA Finals. I agree with you, Jackson. Really appreciate all you guys for being here. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Share the stream out on social media. But what a game. I appreciate you guys for being here. If it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't be worth doing. But I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. But this was a great game. We're going to have more where this came from. Miami's just guaranteeing that this series is going to last a little bit longer. It's not going to be over in 4 games. Could last a little bit longer. What a win for Miami. We're going to at least have 5 games. It's going to be great. Jeff says, I agree. What a game. Great job on the play-by-play. Thank you so much, Jeff, for the compliment. I really do appreciate it. But what a game. Thank you guys so much for being here. Cannot wait for game 3. I'll try to be back for that game depending on my schedule, but I appreciate you guys for being here. What a win for the Miami Heat. A tie series 1-1, and it looks like we're going to have a great 2023 NBA Finals yet, since the Miami Heat, they're not going down 2-0, and they're giving the Denver Nuggets a series, and it's going to be history made either way, with the Heat either being the first 8 seed to win it all. Nuggets, first time they will ever win it all as a franchise. It's going to be crazy, and it's going to be fun to watch. I cannot wait. But thank you guys so much for being here. What a win for Miami to tie the series 1-1.